we're about to get this party started. I'm going manual first because I don't want to pull out the gun just yet. I want to get the front row. Where's my boy? Where's my dancer? Yeah, I got to hook up my dancer. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I need my dad, my dancing dad. Come here, Dad. We got 30 seconds. Greensboro, make some noise. Come on, come on. Count it down. Here we go. Count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make some noise, Greensboro!
We go hide away in daylight. We go undercover, wait out the sun. Everyday people do everyday things, but I can't be one of them. We could be heroes. We could be heroes. We could be.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Greensboro Coliseum for the 2015 USA Gymnastics Championships for acrobatic gymnastics, rhythmic gymnastics, trampoline, and tumbling. Tonight's competition features athletes from around the country competing for USA Gymnastics Gold. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the athletes. Tonight's competition will feature senior elite athletes competing in acrobatics, rhythmic gymnastics, tumbling, and double mini trampoline. Unveiling the U.S. flag this evening, we have each gymnastics discipline, represented by 2 athletes from each region. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that everyone please rise and remove your hats. Here to perform our national anthem, a very special local ensemble offering a unique rendition which reflects the regional flavor and heritage of the Appalachian tradition. Andrew Eversole on banjo, Sarah Strable, Sarah Manchester, and Nisha DeMeo on vocals. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Sarah Strable, Sarah Manchester, Nisha DeMeo, and Andrew Eversole. Gymnasts may now prepare for competition on the first night of the USA Gymnastics Championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the 2015 USA Gymnastics Championships, coming to you live from Greensboro, North Carolina. Tonight we are taking a look at tumbling, double mini tramp, rhythmic, as well as acrobatics. I'm going to need a lot of help. My name is Evan Heiter, so I brought some experts in their respective disciplines to help me out tonight. I'm going to be alongside former Acro World Champion Kristin Allen, former Trampoline National Team member Peter Dodd, as well as 2014 co-national champion in the Rhythmic, Rebecca Sereda. Tonight we're crowning apparatus champions in hoop and ball for Rhythmic, as well as preliminary action in the other disciplines. Sit by, we're getting things underway with warm-ups. We'll be back soon, folks.
Gymnasts may now begin the warm-up.
All right, Greensboro, this is, a brand new event we started doing with all the disciplines under one roof. So we're all learning as we're going because a lot of you are in the crowd that haven't seen some of the disciplines here because you follow just one of them. So we brought in experts and we're doing a live web class. That's right, live web class. So you can tell your grandparents and your moms and your dads and all your family members, tune in, and you can actually watch it live. And you're going to hear these guys on the webcast giving you the updates of exactly what's going on. So first, welcome Kristin Allen. She's an acrobatic gymnastics world champion. Yeah. And we have Peter Dodd, former national team member for the trampoline. And Rebecca Sereda, a 6-time U.S. Rhythmic champion right here. So, Kristin, let's start with you. Just give us kind of the summary of not only tonight, but this weekend for acro.
This is the national championships, so we're going to see the best of acrobatic gymnastics. And you'll see mixed pairs, women's trios, men's fours, men's pairs. And yeah, it's going to be awesome.
What are we going to see tonight?
Tonight, hips, one-arm handstands, awesome dancing, and yeah.
Perfect. All right. Rebecca, what are we going to see in the rhythmic competition tonight?
Well, today the top 10 seniors are competing out of the 20 that qualified, and out of the 4 possible events, they're competing hoop and ball. So you'll see a lot of tosses, a lot of dancing steps, a lot of cool tricks and elements.
Awesome. I like the hoop and ball. All right. And Peter, last, what are we going to see tonight? Actually, nothing on tramp tonight, right?
Trampoline will be tomorrow night. Tonight is going to be tumbling and double mini. And on tumbling, we're going to be looking for athletes going really fast and doing big difficulty. And on double mini, you'll get to see some of the best in the world. So it's going to be amazing.
Very cool. We got the experts in the house doing the live webcast. Make sure you tell the family members to check it out. And you guys give them a big round of applause for being in here tonight, supporting all these disciplines. Let's do this, Greensboro. Thank you, guys.
This concludes the warm-up period, and competition will now begin. Starting off our competition tonight will be the Rhythmic group from North Shore Rhythmic Gymnastics Center, performing their routine with ribbon.
Ladies and gentlemen, starting the night out with an exhibition performance from the United States Rhythmic group. There's just one in America, so Rebecca, what should we watch for with these 5 young ladies here tonight?
Well, these 5 ladies are competing 5 ribbons, which is a new apparatus for them this year. They switch every 2 events. So it's very difficult in the sense that each ribbon is 6 meters long and it can get tangled up, but we are looking for a lot of tosses, a lot of exchanges. Then they have choreographed dancing steps that have to be performed at the same time. Right now, this is their first toss, which Natalie catches very well. In groups, someone always has a specific task to do.
Really bringing a team aspect into the rhythmic discipline.
That was a clean catch amongst all group members. Oh, there's a small fumble by Jenny Rockman. They just got a little tangle over there, but it's very important to recover in group.
Right, getting right back into it.
Yeah, there's 5 gymnasts, so they have to make sure they're all recovering at the same time.
The mastery of all aspects of their team is unbelievable, because even if there's any slight error in timing, picking it right back up, knowing exactly where you need to be.
Exactly, that's exactly the thing. And it's what you have to coordinate with 4 other girls, so that's the hardest part.
picking up the tempo.
That was
as
a
the
very
routine
interesting
continues.
pass that they just did.
Selling this section of the routine. Great eye contact with.
Exactly. It's very good when music has change of tempo, which they have here. So you can start off slow and then they go dynamic. That adds to their artistry score. That's a very interesting and difficult thing to do. Okay, overall not bad routine. They did have some fumbles. They did get tangled a few times, but overall was pretty good. They were able to get back together to finish the routine.
Excellent way to start off the night with the United States Rhythmic group with an exhibition performance. Getting right underway, we're going to move over to men's double mini tramp. Peter, we're taking a look at Garrett Waterstrat with his first pass.
Yeah, here over on the double mini, the athletes are going to be performing 2 skills. We're going to be looking for amplitude on the skills, seeing if we can get a rise from the first skill to the second skill, and we want to look especially at where they land. Their goal is to try to land inside of that red landing zone.
Garrett getting set, representing Sun Elite Athletics.
The men's double mini in the United States is second to none. They are fantastic, so you look forward to see some big stuff here. Starting off with a 1.5 twisting double to a triple back pike, stuck the landing.
Very nice technique. You saw he could see the height on that triple pike going down, zeroing in on that landing. Planted it.
Great pass.
We're going to move over to Kayla Whaley, Premier Athletic Knoxville.
So what we're looking for here is that the athletes maintain a consistent rhythm all the way down the floor and a lot of height on the last skill. Let's see how she does. So far, nice and smooth, losing a little speed, finishing off with that double layout, a little bit short, not too bad.
Kayla Whaley, Premier Athletics, first one under her belt. We're going to be changing pace a lot all over the place tonight through disciplines, getting all aspects of the USA Gymnastics Championship. We're going to move over to Lexi Schultz and Lally Seither, representing Crescent City Gymnastics. This is their dynamic routine. They're competing in the women's pair 12 to 18 division. Kristin, quite a big height difference there.
Yes, there is a height difference.
Subtle. Very subtle.
There is a deduction if there's too much of a mass difference between them. These guys look like they might get that deduction.
So again, as we mentioned, the dynamic routine, complementary to that is the balance routine. Can you talk about the differences we're going to see?
Right, so you just saw a Rosman to handstand and a Corbett to catch. So this is a dynamic routine, which means that all of the flips and catches happen. A balance routine is where they just do static holds.
So would you say this is the fun one for most?
I think so. I always love dynamic.
Get to show some personality out there, connect with the music. First sequence was solid.
Yes, it definitely was. This is their required tumbling pass. That was nice. Interesting transition.
And we're also looking for synchronicity in dance, correct?
Yes, definitely.
Those little nuances open the door for the judges to deduct, and deduct liberally in some cases. So, again, this is a young pair looking to kind of develop up through the ranks.
That's nice. That's good. Good way to start off.
Fun ending there for Lexi Schultz and Lally Seither. Our first look in the acrobatic competition. We're going to change gears yet again. Get used to it, folks. We're moving over to men's double mini again. This is Casey Chandler of Legacy TNT.
Yeah, Casey trains out in Reno, Nevada area. He's a very experienced athlete, 28 years old, getting ready here for his first pass. Casey's got a lot of power. He can get himself up really high, really fast. Sometimes struggles with control, but if he hits it, it's big. Let's see what he's going to do for his first pass. Starts off with a 2.5 twisting double front to a triple twisting double back. Big difficulty, but as you can see, he did not land in that red area, so there will be a deduction on the landing.
Casey Chandler traveling a bit far back on the dismount of that double mini pass. Our next look will be back to the women's pair. We're going to look at Olivia Staff and Sierra Wilson of Empire Acro Gymnastics. Taking another look here at Casey Chandler. Talked about that big power.
Just didn't keep his feet directly underneath him on the transition, got that backwards angle and just shot a little too far.
Staff and Wilson getting in position. Kristin, do you position yourself particularly, where the judges are, depending on a certain competition? You know where you need to make those eye contact movements and where you need to show off particularly?
Yeah, eye contact is really important in the presentation to the judges. We have an artistry score, which is out of 10. And in order to get the highest marks in that, you want to make sure that you connect with the judges. So it's important that even when you're walking out to the floor, which this pair did really well, that you start presenting.
As soon as you start moving, that's when the impression, if you will, takes place in the judge's mind. So Staff and Wilson getting underway here, getting some support from the audience as we sort out the music situation. These young ladies are in the same division as the first pair we saw. These are both 12 to 18. This is the dynamic routine.
Starting off really strong and dramatic. Synchronicity here is a little bit better than the last pair we saw.
Right, almost a head-to-head comparison we'll get to see tonight.
Oh, that'll be a big deduction. It's a fall.
Fumble there, and again, as we mentioned with the Rhythmic group getting right back into it, the music does not stop for any errors, so important to know how to pick back up.
That was a good recovery by this pair. It's important that you don't let that fall show in your face. See how this next skill goes for them. Full twist, legs were a little bit apart. And a wrap back pike, clean landing. Synchronized landing.
Emotions matching the intense music throughout.
A little bit low on that foos up. And on that Branioff, some amplitude issues in this routine.
Interesting, kind of rotating around the side of those twisting elements. Solid finish after some early slip-ups from Olivia Staff and Sierra Wilson. They'll look to improve in their subsequent routines. And we move over to Sydney Rhodes with the hoop. She represents Tampa Bay Rhythmics. Rebecca, what should we look for with Sydney?
Well, Sydney is actually the first-year senior. We should definitely look for clean elements, obviously no drops, very expressive. She has beautiful lines. That's what she's very known for, her feet. So her execution score should ultimately be higher.
Showcasing it right off the bat.
Yeah.
Beautiful opening.
Rolls are a very important aspect of the hoop technique. That was a very nice turn from Sydney.
Great control throughout.
Very clean, fixed balance. That was a very difficult toss. She had no control of her hands off the foot.
As you mentioned, excellent lines, and she's showcasing that. A little bit taller than some of the competitors we'll see tonight, using that to her advantage.
Yeah. Overall, pretty good routine for Sydney. It's her first nationals as a senior, and she definitely showcased her first routine very well.
Sydney Rhodes getting the senior experience underneath her belt. We're moving over now to Jeremy Cooper, Sky Surfers Elite Trampoline team. This will be his first pass on double mini.
Yeah, Jeremy is from Southern California, and he is getting ready to go here on his first pass. Not quite the difficulty of the first two athletes that we got to see, but Jeremy is usually pretty consistent. And on double mini, that's a big thing because it's a really volatile event. Starts off with a double front half. Too close to the edge, though. Has to water down to an easier skill. Landed right on the little bungee on the edge of the double mini.
And that just launches you right back at that point. It's important to make the safe decision in the air.
You can see here, he's just right on the edge and decides, no, got to use the easier skill just to be safe.
Jeremy Cooper getting that landing under his belt. We're moving over to Brianne Millard of World Elite. Her first pass for tumbling.
Where we're looking for nice, smooth, consistent speed down the floor. And then a nice high finish. Double layout. Stuck landing, very nice.
Looked a little surprised with that landing. Double layout kind of hung up in the air. She'll take it looks like.
That's great for her.
First one under the belt for Brianne Millard. Now taking a look at Janelle Satina and Aaron Stipanoff.
This pair is also from Central Coast Gymnastics. This is a team in California. California has some really strong acro teams.
Already feeling the California presence in our first three pairs tonight. This is their dynamic routine getting underway now.
Full twist catch. Some nice presentation from these two.
Also important to play off your partner as well, not just, two people acting independently doing the same choreography. It's important to get some interaction in there as well.
Definitely. fumble there. Base just wasn't able to catch the top. Definitely a big deduction. Recovering well though. These two have great artistry, but they're struggling with execution.
It's not just enough to have one over the other. You need to see both of those aspects combined. But again, looking at some of the younger divisions, chance to maybe mature, get this experience under their belt. Do you remember your first national championship, Kristin?
Yes, I do. I was a level 7 women's pair. It was in Florida.
Memorable to say the least. Were you glad to have that first one under your belt?
Oh, definitely. I was so nervous.
I'd say your career progressed well from there.
Maybe a little bit.
Strong finish after some of those errors there. Again, talking about the complete package. These guys may be lacking in some components for Satina and Stipanov. Our next competitor will be Gabrielle Lowenstein of Euro Gymnastics with the ball.
Gabby is second-year senior. Last year she didn't make senior national team, so she's definitely more experienced than some of the other girls. She's always very expressive.
Look for that expression here as she starts her first routine of the night.
That was a very difficult mastery. We're actually allowed to now have one routine with words. So this is her one routine that she chose to have words.
Adding another dynamic. Were you happy to hear that rule change, Rebecca?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely adds more of a impact to the routine, and sometimes the vocals add, and the voices and the words add more to the routine. Larger emphasis on the artistry too. That was a very clean catch, right into the rotation. That was a good turning leap combo. Very difficult catch from Gabby. Good risk. Very good routine from Gabby. She did have a little bit of a fumble on one element, but overall very good routine, very clean, very expressive.
Expressive nonetheless, yes correct. So Gabby Lowenstein underway tonight. Moving over now to men's double mini. This is Ty Carlson.
Yeah, and Ty is one of our kind of newer to this division, senior elite for double mini, so I'm interested to see how he's going to do here. As we kind of touched on at the very beginning, US is one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world for men's double mini. So this is a really difficult event to enter into. Starting off with the double front half to a triple twisting double layout. Inside the red, that's as much as you could ask for.
Very secure first pass there for Ty Carlson.
Coach is sure happy about it.
Taking another look here.
Good extension at the top. The judges want to see that. Finishes the twist. Plenty of time to see the landing and make sure he comes down solid.
Moving over to Kayla Whaley's second pass in tumbling now.
Yeah, we're going to be looking. This is the twisting pass. There was one twisting skill, and she should finish with, there it is, a full twisting double. Not quite enough height to get that around.
Disappointing ending on that full twisting double pike. Had a score of 29.4 on her first pass.
Yeah, not the best night for her. What you want to see that the athletes are actually accelerating as they get towards the end, so they have enough speed to finish that last skill. She just couldn't quite maintain.
Building up to that dynamic finish. Moving now over to the dynamic routine of Kendall Anderson and Ashley Maynard, Clinton County YMCA.
Haven't seen a lot from this team before, so it'll be interesting to see what they bring to the table.
Some newcomers on the national scene. Always nice to see new faces.
That was a nice first trick. This is a slower dynamic routine than we normally see. Oh, but it's picking up.
Spoke too soon.
Yep.
Knew it was coming. Setting up now here.
Full twist. A little bit wobbly in that body position. Just want to see it be a little bit straighter. Overall, pretty synchronized from this group.
Yeah, super important to make sure that you're not outperforming
The other
teammate.
partner.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. These guys just look a little bit new. I could be selling this routine a little bit more.
Focusing
Setting up
on
for another element.
different aspects of the dynamic routine than some other of the pairs we've seen tonight. Not as many of the big wow factor skills. Again, probably just a matter of experience, getting comfortable on this national stage.
But definitely cleaner skills than the last pair that we saw. Taking up a little extra time at the end.
Strong
It was a
finish.
good cover.
Right. Relaxed. Deep breaths at the end for Kendall Anderson and Ashley Maynard. Now moving over to the hoop exercise, Heather Chan.
Heather is also as well. One time she made junior national team in 2013, and last year she made senior national team, so she's looking to claim her spot again.
And a former teammate of yours.
Yes, she is.
What should we look for in particular with Heather's routine?
Heather is known for her flexibility.
All right.
Right now, she's starting off 13 already with a very two balances in combination.
Interesting that we see these athletes, you talk about the things that they're known for, and right off the bat they usually showcase that.
Yeah, it's definitely good to get the judges and audience's attention with your highlights, and obviously to keep strong throughout the entire routine. That was a nice balance with a difficult handling. Also very difficult catch.
Gorgeous leaps there.
Very jumpable and flexible. She has the talent. A little fumble there. She was supposed to catch it into rotation. That was very good fouette. That's an example of a very difficult mastery.
Mastery indeed from Heather Chan, working well here. A little rough on that catch, would you say, Rebecca?
Yeah, definitely there's a slight error in the connection, but she was able to recover fast. Now she has to make sure she finishes her dancing steps, which she's doing now, to the end of the music. Overall, very good routine. She did have a little mistake on the toss over there and the fumble over here, but overall, very good. It's actually her birthday today, so I'm sure she'll be happy with that.
Happy birthday, Heather Chan of Isadora. Hoop routine under her belt. Now we're moving over to the second pass of Garrett Waterstrat, Sun Elite.
Yeah, and Garrett right now is way out in the lead, but as we mentioned, it's a tricky event. It's very unforgiving, so you've got to make both passes. That's the big thing. So we'll see here. If he can hold this together, I think he should come out of this first group in the lead.
First pass scored a 36.9. We'll see what the second one comes up with here.
Here it comes. 1.5 twisting, not quite far enough, but still makes it to the triple twisting double back straight.
Pulls it out to his advantage. That positioning, probably what he was thinking about right at the end there.
You can see he didn't get as far across as he should have, but he still was able to recover nicely.
Right, almost looking to be in that second section.
Yeah, you really want to get up into that flat spot, and he was still a little bit on the slant, but he's a very experienced athlete, stayed calm, found a way to still get into the landing zone.
Garrett Roberstrap finishing up his second pass as we move over to the dynamic routine of Nicole Chin and Jenna Williams of West Coast Training Center.
These two are actually from my home gym, West Coast Training Center, Livermore, California.
Doing you proud. Already kind of an innovative start, starting on opposite sides.
That was the best full twist that we've seen tonight.
Far and away, I would say about double the height of the rest that we've seen, as well as form and execution.
A little bit too much prep time there. You really want the tricks to flow in and out of the choreography. You don't want to know that they're coming. That was a really difficult toss from these two. A double tuck. It's really difficult for a women's pair.
Little lapse in synchronicity, it seemed, through the tumbling, but they went at it together again, probably going after some more of those difficulty points rather than doing them individually.
Mm-hmm. Overall, this routine is starting off really clean. Nice landing there.
No major errors thus far for Chin or Williams.
Hopefully they can keep this energy up through the end of the routine.
Right, coming into a new tempo of the music.
A little fumble by the base, one extra step. Overall, a really good routine.
Dynamic indeed for Nicole Chin and Jenna Williams of West Coast Training Center. Moving now to the ball routine of Aaliyah Prato.
Aaliyah was actually at the Pan Am Championships last year where the team won gold, and she was alternate for World Championships. So she's definitely a very experienced athlete. She's been competing at nationals for many years already.
Looking to use that experience to her advantage. Challenge for the ball national title tonight.
Yes, of course. Allie's another gymnast with really beautiful long lines and nice turns as well.
Using some popular music by Emily Sandé.
Yes, definitely some gymnasts like to use the popular music, gets the crowd more involved if they know the song. That was a nice jump from Allie. It was a good pivot. She lost the form by the end, but she held it till the end, which was good.
Important to keep the same rotation and position throughout. You see it there.
Yeah, you're not allowed to switch it. If it drops slower, then they stop counting the amount of rotations you've done.
And we do not want that.
No, you do not. That was an example of a nice planche spin. She saved that. It was flying a little bit out of her way, but she caught it and fought for it. That was a difficult match as well. Good routine for Alice. She did have a few saves, but she tried to avoid any drastic mistakes. It was a very good routine for her, very expressive.
Moving now to Casey Chandler of Legacy TNT. Yes. Second pass.
Yeah, second pass. Remember, on his first pass, he went a little long out of the box, so he's got some points he needs to make up here. So it'll be interesting to see if he tries to up his difficulty here to make up those points, or if he's just going to go for higher execution.
Chasing Waterstrat, who tallied 36.5 for his second pass, so not quite as good as the first one.
But
Chandler,
still a great score.
Indeed. Chandler with 34.5 first one.
Looked like his first skill, he actually clipped the blue pad and wasn't able to jump off of the trampoline part. That killed his bounce there. So most likely that'll just be a 0 on that one.
A little disconcerting. Opens up, obviously, safely, but not the way he wanted to finish that one. Moving over now to Talia Berry and Aubrey Rosilier. Their dynamic routine for AGSA.
This beautiful front laid out boost to wrap. Nice transition out. Really strong choreography from these two. AGSA is a team known for their clean routines and choreography.
Leading the way thus far in this division for their dynamic routine was the first pair we saw, Schultz and Seither with a 27.067. Everyone else will be chasing them.
That was beautiful. So far, really clean from these two. A little bit long. You want to land as close to the base as you can. Overall, really good routine though.
Strong finish for Barry and Rosilier. Moving now to Jeremy Cooper for his second pass.
Yeah, Jeremy also struggled a little bit on his first pass, having to sub out his second skill for an easier one.
Resulting in a 30.8, so hoping to improve on that first pass here.
He's getting ready to go, going through those tricks in his head. See what he's going to open up with. Double front with a half pike to a double twisting, double back straight, stuck landing in the box, and a smile.
Clean and improved. Jeremy Cooper much happier with that one.
Yeah, big improvement from his first pass. Great to see for Jeremy.
Kind of a textbook use of the apparatus, right where you want to be. The end result was equally as good, so improving on that 30.8 first pass as we move over to Brianne Millard.
On her twisting pass, her second pass, they have to have a twisting somersault in it, and there's one, and it should be a twisting double at the end if she can pick her speed back up. There it is, full and
Going for that full twist and double pike. Hangs on to it.
Little stumble on the landing, but leaves happy. Definitely should put her ahead of the previous competitor who unfortunately couldn't make it all the way around on her last skill.
Right. Kayla Whaley, 25.6 on that second pass. Millard,
Brienne's should be significantly higher than that.
Millard was up there already with a 31.5 on the first. As we move over to Riley Chimwala and Sarah Williamson representing Woga in their dynamic routine. Final competitors of the rotation in this division.
Oh, fall there on the first trick. She put her hands down.
First forward twisting element we've seen, taking a different type of risk. Didn't pay off this time for this pair.
Double tuck, a little bit open. You want to have a tighter tucked position.
Moving well, staying with the tempo.
I'd like to see a little bit more facial expressions from these two. They seem a little bit in their own world.
Perhaps a little hyper-focused on the actual skills. Sometimes in these younger age divisions, Kristin, correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of get one or the other. It's hard to find that total balance. And the
That's true.
athletes are still developing, but obviously that's what we're going for.
Yeah, when the tricks are still difficult for you, it's hard to perform through them, so that's something that you learn over time.
Synchronicity lagging just a little bit as they move into the final portion of their routine.
She throws her head back a little bit on that full twist.
Riley Chimwala and Sarah Williamson of Woga, their first rotation is done. Dynamic routine under their belt as we move over to the final competitor of the first rotation on double mini. This is Ty Carlson.
Yeah, we'd mentioned Ty's kind of new to this group, but kind of surprised us with that first pass. That was so great, that triple twisting double back straight that he stuck. So if he can put together another pass like that, he's going to be right in the hunt for finals.
No doubt, a 36.3 had him in second after the first pass.
Runs so fast. 1.5 twisting double straight, not going to make it off. Lands back on the double mini.
Gets the mat push in there.
Yeah, it's too bad. You know, it's really, it's difficult for these athletes. They don't usually compete with other sports where they have to wait so long in between each pass. So to have that much time between pass one and pass two without any sort of practice can be difficult. So some of these younger, less experienced athletes, I would imagine we're going to see some uncharacteristic mistakes.
Right, adding a new dynamic to the traditional competition. But this is go time. USA Gymnastics Championships, rotation 1 is in the books. We'll be back soon.
We got a beach ball in the house. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can hit the beach ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our next flight of gymnasts, and they may now begin the warm-up.
All right. Check it out here, Greensboro. I like to bring down, future talent. This is Hannah. Give Hannah a big round of applause. Hannah, where are you from?
New Orleans.
New Orleans. What level are you?
9.
Level 9. What discipline?
Acro.
Woo! What's your favorite thing about acro?
I like the routines and Leos.
The routines and Leos. That's a very honest answer. That's really good. I'm going to ask you a trivia question, okay? Just think about it. You can ask for help from the crowd if you need to. If you don't know it, I'll try to telepathically put it in your head, okay? And then if you get it right, I got a prize for you. I don't know what that prize is. I'm going to get you something, okay? Who is the only acro mixed team to win 2 world championship titles? One of them was also a leader of a group called the Acro Army, too.
Arthur Davis.
Arthur Davis is correct. Who was his partner?
Shanae Booth.
Shanae Booth. Well, check it out. Here's Arthur right behind you. Yeah. So we thought it'd be really cool if you got to do a move with the world champion. And then we could put it on all of USA Gymnastics socials. Hashtag USA Gym Champs. Bam! And you're just like, I'm Hannah, what's up? All right? So Arthur, what do you think we can do?
I think we could try a high straddle. What do you think?
She's down for that. All right, Greensboro, make some noise. Mr. John Chang right here, he's going to get a photo. And then we're going to hashtag USA Champs with this. Actually, it's USA Gym Champs. USA Gym Champs. Here we go. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. All right, we're gonna put that on all the USA Gymnastics socials, hashtag USA Gym Champs. You guys can also be doing the same thing. Take out your phones. You guys all got selfie sticks as athletes. Boom, just put it up there, hashtag USA Gym Champs. Let's do it. Give Arthur Davis a big round of applause and Miss Hannah.
This concludes the warm-up period, and competition will now begin. Starting off on double mini trampoline for Twist Stars, Austin Nacy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2015 USA Gymnastics Championships. We're going to get started in a big way here. This second flight with Austin Nacy.
Austin Nacy is incredible. Awesome Austin. He can do some big, big stuff. Very experienced athlete on both double mini and tumbling. First pass, 1.5 twisting double straight to a triple twisting double back straight.
Couple steps at the end, but well in that red zone.
If any part of your foot touches outside of that red zone, you do get the landing deduction. So it was really close.
Could have been a little precarious there for Austin Nacy's first pass on double mini. We're moving over to the women's 12 to 18 group balance routines, starting with Caitlin Guzman, Jennifer Hull, and Taylor Watana.
So again, this is the junior division. So these girls are just coming up.
Kristin, what should we be looking for? Obviously, balance is the complement to dynamic, but now we're seeing groups. So what other layers does that add on to these routines?
You're going to watch the girls build pyramids. And then the top will be, and the middle actually, will be performing static holds on top of these pyramids. Synchronicity is another thing we'll be looking for. It's more difficult in trio, obviously, because you have 3 girls instead of 2. So here's our first pyramid.
Adding another person undoubtedly adds more difficulty to these elements.
In their first required tumbling pass.
You know when they come back together, they're setting up for something big.
This is our second pyramid. It's really difficult for the base. So obviously she's holding 2 different people at the same time. Oh, I was a little bit short. She fell out of that last position.
Important to carry on. Kristin, now obviously you don't practice making mistakes, but do you practice those covers for things that inevitably do and will happen?
Oh,
in
definitely.
routines?
You want to have a contingency plan for when things go wrong.
Especially at this age, teaching them, handle everything.
Yeah, definitely. In practice, you want to make sure that even if you fall out of a skill, you keep going so you know what to do. Also, you want to make sure you can get back on the music. If you fall out of one of these pyramids, it takes time to build. You're also creating a gap, so you have to learn how to be able to fill that gap.
Strong finish. Our first look at the women's group balance. That was Guzman, Hull, and Watana. Moving now to double mini. Second flight, this is Austin White.
Yeah, Austin definitely one of the most experienced athletes we have out here. He's a 2-time world silver medalist on this event.
Looking for big things, but you did mention, Peter, might not see the biggest skills in this preliminary round.
Well, here we go, a full twisting triple back dismount. Decent landing, touches a little bit out of the zone, but good enough if he can make the second pass. But yeah, there's a lot of strategy that goes on with double mini because they have 4 passes if you combine prelim and finals together, and all 4 have to be different. So a lot of these guys will save their big stuff for the final round.
Get in there safely with clean and dynamic routines. We'll look for more from Austin White in his second pass, looking to advance on as we move over to Harley Merritt of Elite World Gymnastics, her first pass.
Yeah, Harley from Florida, looking to do her first tumbling pass here.
This will not be the twisting, correct?
No, this should be her straight pass. Gonna tumble out of her double pike, keep going, trying to get her speed back up. There we go, not bad. Anytime you see a female tumbler that's doing multiple double somersaults, that's a good thing.
Right. You saw her arms kind of come out to the side, setting up for that double back. Had to pull pretty hard, but got it around, managed to stay on her feet. That was Harley Merritt in her first pass. As we move now to another group balance routine. This is Angela DeLine, Catherine Mulder, Shay Smiley-Rooney, competing for Central Coast Gymnastics.
Girls starting off with their first pyramid. This is a double support. Her legs could be a little bit higher in that crocodile position.
Interesting transition. Kristin, how long is too long to hold these elements? Is there a mandatory time?
There isn't really a too long, I guess. You want to hold each static hold for 3 seconds. There is a deduction for having a hold that's too short. This is another interesting pyramid.
A little bit more of a low-profile approach, I would say, pun intended. And the pyramid constitutes as all 3 members making contact with each other, correct?
Yes.
Change of pace here, and as you can see from all the YouTube videos out there, acro is in constant flux. Everybody's trying to think of new and innovative ways to approach things. So, you know, where do these new entries or new pyramids come up with? You know, where are these thought up, Kristin?
They're thought up in the gym, like most things are, I guess. We spend a lot of time in the gym. Also, sometimes the choreographers will help with the transitions of building new ways of getting in and out of the skills. That's really important. The judges are always looking for new creative things.
Right, I was going to say, bringing something new to the table.
Her hair is coming out, so that's going to be a deduction. I always think that's one of the silliest deductions.
I was going to say, she'll get that secured for the next round.
Yeah, I hope so.
That was Deline Mulder and Smiley Rooney. As we move over to Joshua Cooper of Sky Surfers, his first pass.
Saw his twin brother compete in the first round.
Double
now we're going to
take.
see which brother comes out on top. I'm sure they got a lot of sibling rivalry going on at home about these events.
Right, keeping us on our toes over here. To update you, our first 2 competitors in Flight 2 scored identical 37 sixes, and they're both named Austin.
Yeah, it seems to be a trend there.
White. Yeah.
Good name to have on double mini. And that is definitely too long. There's a deduction for landing in the yellow zone, but an even bigger deduction if you go all the way to the blue zone.
He took it pretty far there. You can see how it sets up, launches right back there. As we move over to Brigitte Budginis.
Brigitta's been competing at nationals even earlier than she was a junior. She's competed twice as a hope, which is very rare. So she's been at nationals for many years already. I think this is her 5th nationals, actually. That was a very difficult catch without her hands. She always has a lovely smile throughout the routine. That was a very clean catch from her. And that was an example of a mastery that was very difficult to do, and followed by another one, actually. This routine is very musical. She's doing every musical accent. Every free arm is moving lovely.
Adds to the overall presentation. Judges will notice as well.
Exactly. Everything counts as the artistry score. Every musical accent has to match the music, and every facial expression has to match as well. Preparing for an element too long will be also deduction. Very interesting last catch. Very good routine from her. She was very expressive. She's moving very well. Overall, very good routine for Brigitte.
Group routine under her belt as we move over to Carter Rhodes.
Gonna get a look here at Carter's first pass. Here he goes. Starting off with an easier first skill, but then finishing with that triple twisting double back that we've seen from so many of the men today.
Took it right to the edge of that red area. I think heels might have creeped into the yellow.
Yeah, a little tentative on that takeoff for the first skill and just kind of fell forward into it.
Moving quickly over to Yulia Brown.
First tumbling pass. Getting ready for a dismount. Nice double layout. Yulia is actually 40 years old and still tumbling, still in great shape. Was competing when I was competing, and I've been retired quite a while, and she is still one of the best. I don't know how she does it.
Does it make you want to get out there, Peter?
No.
Yulia, handle it. Looking good in her first pass as we move over to the balance routine of Alyssa Delgado, Gabriella Foster, and Connie Kikarillo from AGSA.
If these girls are from AGSA, their women's pair just is actually currently in first place in the 12 to 18 division.
Trying to keep the trend alive.
Going into their first pyramid. This is a column. Base lifting one arm up for extra difficulty points.
Very secure.
Top is transitioning into an arched handstand position.
Very well executed there.
This is going to be their second pyramid, the base and middle splits. Difficult pyramids like this one take time to build.
Great view here of
A little
every
bit
component. Seeing some wobbling on the top there.
Yeah, a little bit. It's difficult to do a press to handstand by the top towards the end of the routine. Nicely done. That was an interesting exit out of that skill.
Right, like you said, something new and different.
Overall, a good routine.
Excellent work there from Delgado, Foster, and Kikarillo. As we move over to the first pass of Michael Liao.
Yeah, Michael Lau is from the Phoenix area out in Arizona. Trains at Aspire Gymnastics. Looks like maybe he's going to do a triple back here. I see his coach getting out onto the landing surface for spotting just in case.
Usually means something's up.
Something big is coming. As long as the first setup skill's done well. There it is. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. It gets it around but can't hang on to the landing.
Triple pike saw it. Unfortunately, shoulders just a bit behind the hips and, tough to save at that point.
Just not quite enough speed for him to open up and prepare for the landing. Had to keep rotating all the way in.
Michael Lau will look to improve on pass number 2, and now we're looking at Laura Zhang with the ball.
Laura Zhang's definitely a top contender for the senior title this year. This is her first year as a senior. Last year she was Youth Olympic bronze medalist, and this year she's had a lot of success as a senior. She made World Cup finals this year, and here she has a really dynamic artistic ball routine.
Making a splash on the senior scene already.
She's had a great international season this year. Normally for ball, many gymnasts stick to the classical slow. Here she's taking a different approach.
Stunning.
Laura's a very confident gymnast. That was a good catch from her. That was an example of a difficult mastery from her. Followed by another one.
What would you say it is about Laura Zing that sets her apart?
Laura loves competing. You could just tell by her presence. She likes to bring the crowd in just here. She's very sharp, very fast. She always is known for her consistency as well. She's normally a very consistent gymnast. You know that when she competes, she'll do a good job most of the time, and she loves bringing in the crowd.
And like you said, taking a different approach to the ball routine, getting the audience into it, responding well to Laura Zing's performance here.
Ooh. Really good routine from her aside from that last catch. It will be a pretty large deduction for the toss and then plus the actual drop.
Laura Zing finding a way to finish up there. Will be disappointed and looking to regroup with the hoop as we move over to Paige Murphy, Hannah Seiger, and Allison Snyder. First Class Gymnastics Inc. Their balance routine in the women's 12 to 18 group division. Kristin, how are groups formed? You know, obviously a lot of these decisions are made in the gym by just seeing who works best together, but how do these groups, you know, really come together?
Usually in August or September, that's sort of our off season. So that's when the coaches will try the kids out with different people. And then they're also matched up by age. So you want to make sure they stay within the age group so that they can all compete together.
A lot of, again, strategy going into it. You want these athletes to be able to develop together and compete, get that experience under their belts.
And obviously you need 3 people with specific body types and sizes. So there's a lot that goes into the partnering. You can usually tell what sets apart the better women's groups because you'll see them climb and create periods really quickly. They don't take much time building their pyramids.
Efficiency, the name of the game here. You need to get in it, and then as a consequence of that, I would assume that you can add more difficulty elsewhere rather than having to take up so much time setting up.
Definitely.
Also important to keep in mind for the folks at home, these are still junior competitors. So much like the other disciplines, these are, you know, the best of the best, but still developing. Taking a look at Murphy, Seiger, and Snyder finishing up there as we move over to the second pass of Austin Nacy, leader after the first.
Yeah, tied with the other Austin, and this Austin last year was the bronze medalist at the World Championships. Let's see what he's got for his second pass. Triple to mount and a triple to dismount, so that is a triple connection. Yeah, didn't even look hard, huh?
Very relaxed.
But that's what you expect to see from a world medalist there. A triple front with a half to a triple back tuck dismount.
Great compression there and saw the landing. Fortunate step back, but great difficulty there for Austin Nacy as we move over to Harley Merritt.
Harley on her second pass. Once again, the second pass is their twisting pass. Let's see what she's going to do here. She can open up with that full like a lot of them do, then try to build her speed back up for her twisting double at the end. The full in tuck, not enough. it's tough for some of these athletes to do that single flip twist in the beginning and then try to rebuild enough speed for their twisting double at the end. And that can be a big separator here in this division.
Right, you saw that full kind of travel up, and then the rotation for that last flip wasn't quite there. So again, getting the balance and knowing where the momentum is generated from. So she'll look for improvement elsewhere in the competition as we move over to...
Yeah, if she gets through to finals, maybe she can pick it up.
Right. Helena Hall, Lindsay Meyer, Sydney Vanderlinden. And Kristin, I know we talked about a hair deduction earlier. Does the hair have to be identical for all members of the group?
That's a good question. I believe it does.
Probably pretty close to it.
That could be difficult with the mixed pairs.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Definitely not in mixed hair.
No wigs coming out.
That was a really interesting entrance into this pyramid.
And if you can make Kristin Allen look twice,
it's a
you know
good thing.
it's good.
A really nice press to handstand from the top on this pyramid. The base letting go of her arms, increasing the difficulty.
Gorgeous lines here, especially from this angle.
And the more transitions they do in these pyramids, the more difficulty points they get. It's executed very well. And another press to handstand by the top.
This is really great, just seeing an innovative
That was
approach.
a little bit of a mistake there. She fell out of that handstand a bit too early.
Right, you can kind of tell that by bailing off to the side.
Is there a minimum time that they have to hold?
3 seconds. Overall, this is a really lovely routine by these three, showing a lot of grace.
Keeping it consistent throughout. And probably, correct me if I'm wrong, Kristin, but the most difficult pyramids we've seen thus far.
Yes, I would agree with that. A little bit wobbly on that last pyramid. Overall, a really nice routine.
Ending there for Hall, Meyer, and Vanderlinden. Moving now to the other Austin, trying to...
I'm always a little biased towards this Austin as he is from my gym.
I see.
So, you know, I always keep my fingers crossed, but you know, I do love both Austins. They're both very talented athletes.
As you should. Well, matching 37.6s were no slouch for either in the first rotation. We'll see if he can match a 37.3 from Nacy.
Not quite far enough on the mount, but, oh, and gets lost. Not quite sure what skill he was going to do there.
You can see at the end there, sometimes your body just gets in a different position and everything feels a bit different.
Yeah, he didn't quite mount far enough, and I think he changed his mind on what dismount he was supposed to do and got lost in the air while doing that.
Back over to Yulia Brown.
Twisting pass, doing a little better job of maintaining the speed. Going to finish with a full in tuck.
Easily performs that.
There's
to
that
end.
Experience coming through.
Moving over now to Pamela Tang with hoop.
Pamela is actually one of the few gymnasts in this rotation who has yet to make national team, so she'll be fighting for a spot in the top 8, which is our national team. Nice turn to start the routine off. This is an example of a more dynamic routine. A small drop there on the element, so she won't get credit for her side inclination.
Bit of trouble early on here for Pamela Tang. She'll look to recover.
Yeah, it's mostly important to recover after a large mistake, because one mistake doesn't affect the entire routine. That was a good turn from her.
When you talk about mastery of the apparatus, can you explain that a little bit?
Well, there's a criteria that you have that can be called mastery, which is considered like a difficult trick that requires certain criteria, whether it's on a rotational movement or without hands or without visual field, and you ask for, it's worth 3/10. So the judge has to see the caliber of the difficulty of it, and if it's performed without any execution, then you get 3/10 for the mastery. That was a large fall. That would be execution deduction off of her element. Definitely not the best routine for Pamela, but she does have 3 more events, and if she makes top 12, then she'd have another 4. So hopefully she fights for ball.
Struggling a bit with hoop was Pamela Tang. Moving over now to Joshua Cooper of Sky Surfers. Second pass.
Josh looking to add a little bit better score into this second one. Wasn't a bad first pass, but did travel a little long. If he can put it in the box here, I think he's going to have a shot at getting into the finals. Remember, the top 8 will compete in the finals. First skill, give me double front half out to the triple twisting double back straight. It was well executed, but poor aim on the dismount.
Happy to put it to his feet, but always room to improve. Not all in the red there.
He's given himself a chance, but it's really going to depend on what we see from the athletes in the final rotation.
Moving now to the balance group of Anna Grafov, Caitlin Kitsa, and Lauren Putney. Making their way to the preferred location, all the way around the floor.
Nice first pyramid from this trio. Getting a little bit wobbly as the top transitions into that arch position.
Hold on to it.
That was an interesting exit.
Legs interlocked, setting up for the next pyramid.
Good holds there from top, transitioning into a different pyramid. That was nicely executed.
Crowd likes it.
They're doing a good job of keeping the momentum going throughout this routine. Strong finish.
Anna Grafov, Caitlin Pizza, and Lauren Ponte have their balance routine under their belt as we move over to Carter Rhodes of Amplify.
Yeah, Carter goes by CJ. He's from Utah. He just got back off of a leg injury. Would love to get into the finals. Another athlete we see traveling a little bit long. But it is 2 completed passes, and in double mini, that's a big deal.
Again, says something. No zeros needing to count. He had a 35.4 in the first rotation, first pass, as we move over to the 2014 co-national champion with Rebecca. This is Jazzy Kerber.
Jazzy's definitely one of the most experienced out of the bunch in this rotation. She's competed at 2 world championships already. She's definitely one of the older girls, so she definitely has a lot of experience. That was a difficult mastery, as I explained prior. Oh, already a small drop.
Uncharacteristic.
First routine of the competition is always the most nerve-wracking.
Looking to get those under control. Finalist at the World Championships even.
2 years in a row, yes. Great turn from Jazzy.
Looks to have pushed the jitters aside.
That was a great turn from her, and she combines it into another element, which she gets an extra 10th for. Another example of her really nice turns.
And as lovely as she is to watch, the technicality she brings,
She's
especially those turns.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the cleanest gymnasts. Her lines are very good, so executionally she gains very high scores because there's no extra steps, no bent knees, no flexed toes. Pretty good routine from Jazzy, just that drop in the beginning, but other than that, she was able to compose herself and perform a really good routine.
Kerber picking up the momentum to finish up her ball routine. We're going to move over to the final group of this rotation. This is Mackenzie Handy, Treva Nethery, and Megan Nordyke of Acro Explosion.
Acro Explosion is based out of Missouri. Missouri has a few good acro teams. See how this trio does.
She looks easy to lift.
Yes, she does. They may actually get a height or a mass deduction because she's so small. It makes it easier for them, so they have a bit of an advantage. So the deduction helps even the playing field.
A lot of interesting deductions in the acro world that I think some of our artistic fans out there would be surprised to hear. So thank you for enlightening us.
Solid pyramid. This is another pyramid, one we haven't seen tonight. Pike on pike. The variation in straddle position by the top.
Interesting lines there.
Just released hands, just difficult to hold. The crowd seems happy that they completed that element.
Overall, great routine from Handy, Nethery, and Nordyke to finish up that rotation. And our final competitor of this rotation is Michael Lau.
Michael Lau getting ready for his second pass here. He did that triple pike on the first pass, but just couldn't quite stay on his feet. So let's see what he can do here on his second pass. Starting off with an easier skill for the first one, set him up for that triple back on the second skill.
Better position, better bounce. Put that triple down this time. Happy with that one.
Yeah, definitely an improvement. Hopefully get him up close to that 70 points mark to help him get into finals.
Michael Lau finishing up rotation number 2. We'll be back with more action.
Next flight of gymnasts.
Here we go. Come on, Greensboro. It's coming at you fast. Ah! Here we go.
Gymnasts participating in this flight may now begin the warm-up.
All right, Greensboro, I said I like to bring out future big stars that I find in the crowd and their dads. What's your name?
Katerina Kaganovich.
That's a name right there. Name of a champion. Look at this. She's just ready to go. Dad, what's your name?
Dmitry Kaganovich.
Wow. You guys are both champions. This is big time. All right, Katerina, I want you to meet 6-time U.S. national champion Rebecca Sereda. Right here. Bring her out here. Come on out. Give it up for Rebecca. And then I think it's pretty cool that you get to meet her, right?
It's pretty cool.
And we'll get your picture. Mr. John Chang's right there. Smile. Oh, yeah. And we always watch you. Your dad always watches you. We thought we'd give your dad a chance to try rhythmic gymnastics. What do you think?
It's kind of cool.
Okay, here we go. Dad, just let me see if you got something. Let's see. Okay, that's good. Now try this one. Try this one. Just. All right, Rebecca, any tips?
For him? I mean, he's got it down. Maybe some tosses. Let's see some tosses.
Well, you know what might help you? Maybe a little music. Okay? Just get your pose ready, and then I'll give you this when you're ready. You know, just, you know. Okay, go. Kick it. You got it. It's just a small deduction. Keep it going. Here we go, Dimitri. If all else fails, go to the soccer. Oh. Ho! Give it up for Dimitri. Hold that for me. And give it up for one more time, Rebecca. And make some noise for all these athletes, Greensboro. Let's keep this party going. Come on, make some noise, Greensboro.
This concludes the warm-up period, and competition will now begin.
Getting
Up
a
on
look
double
at
mini
some of the
for
scoring
Guy
updates
Sports, Alexander
from that
Ranker.
second rotation. Getting right into the action with double mini men's. We're looking at Alex Rankert.
Alex Rankert definitely is one of the best double miniists in the world.
Is that the official term, double miniist?
That's what I like to call it. I don't know if you have a better name.
I like it.
It's going to catch on.
Here he comes. Very nice. Now, he landed inside the red and then hopped out. That's a small deduction. If they actually land outside the red, it's a larger deduction. So that's not a bad pass for him right there.
Best of landing intentions there. Seeing in the red. Moving quickly over to Bryce Wilson. This is his first pass in men's tumbling.
Men's tumbling, really exciting event. Not quite enough speed on that first. They want to get a lot of power on that double that they're going to tumble out of so they can land it at an angle steep enough to continue them down the floor. See, he was just too slow, landed short, no way to tumble out of that one.
Power and momentum should build. Difficult when body positions and bounce don't go the way you want, so Bryce Wilson will look to improve on pass number 2. Moving over to the next wave of women's group 12 to 18, the balance routine for Sophia Handel, Cameron Jones, and Sarah Mercer. They represent Extreme Acro.
This is the first group we've seen from Extreme tonight.
Does Extreme as a program usually bring something new and different to the table in your opinion, Kristin?
Yeah, I think so. They're from Maryland.
Sometimes regional differences reign true. Taking the expressive route so far to this first pyramid.
The middle is releasing and the top transitions into, almost were able to save that. Not quite.
See that kind of chain reaction of things.
Yeah, so that means that they'll get a deduction for the fall and also won't get the difficulty points for it.
Kind of an innovative tumbling movement, back full in a layout position right to her knee.
Yeah, in a balance routine, you'll see the girls tumble into either a split or to knee. Going into their second pyramid. Hopefully this goes better than the first. Solid press to handstand right into the arched position.
It looks like they're trying to pile on some difficulty with the releases.
That's true, but I doubt that they would change their routine after that fall.
Right.
Just with 3 girls, it's usually better if they stick to the plan. So you aren't allowed to talk during a routine. So it'd be really
important deduction area.
Yes. Really such a bummer about that first fall because this would have otherwise been a really beautiful routine.
Really great musicality throughout for Handel, Jones, and Mercer.
Yeah, definitely very expressive.
Moving now to Stuart Pritchard.
Yeah, Stuart is the hometown hero here. We're all talking about our, travel and getting here to the area. He's like, yeah, I had to go 7 minutes to get here. So definitely he should have the crowd on his side here.
Right, we'll see if he's a little bit fresh.
On top of that,
to worry about.
He is the reigning national champion.
Never hurts.
Starting off with an easier setup skill. Not super high difficulty for him, but well executed, maintained his height. Lines look clean in the air. Not a bad pass.
Taking another look here at Pritchard's first pass as he looks to defend his national championship.
Also a definite advantage going at the end. He saw some of the big boys have some struggles. He may have just decided, I'm going to keep it clean, go a little easier, make sure I get in that final round, then I'll show why I'm national champion.
Another North Carolina boy over here, Jackson Tyson, stepping up for his first pass in tumbling.
Jackson can really get some speed here. Starting off with that double layout, transitioning out. He's got one more double here. Finishes with a double tuck, so 2 double layouts into a double back tuck. Struggled a little bit with the connection on his second double layout, but no problem finishing the pass.
Crowd loves it. Zeroes in on that landing.
Nice landing.
Just about a stick, so a little bit of movement there. One of the feet. Great start for Jackson Tyson. Moving now to Ginger Burrows, Jordan Fellman, and Hallie Quintanilla. Getting some last-minute advice from their coach.
These girls are also from Extreme Acro, the same team as the one we just saw.
Last-minute advice, does it just depend on the group of athletes, what the coach is going to tell them, remind them?
Yeah, definitely. I think some people like to go through their routines or visualize them. Some people like to have their coach talk to them. It all just depends.
I always wanted my coach during gymnastics to stay intense with me, you know, not try and lighten the mood. I was like, no, this is serious business.
Really, Michael and I were the opposite of that. Michael Rodriguez was my partner when I was competing, and we just used to make jokes all the way up until we competed. We figured the work was done. Just go out there and stay in the moment.
Yeah. Paid off. World championship. Yeah. I have no world championships, so maybe that's the difference between us. Taking a look here now. These 3 young ladies about to get underway.
The judges looked like they had a difficult time deciding what deductions to take with that last routine. So it took them some time to get ready for these girls to go.
Again, this big national stage, bringing different delays, different rotations, all important for a young athlete to adjust to.
The 12 to 18 women's group division has a lot of competitors. So
the future looks bright in this division.
Strong pyramid so far from these girls. Very nice press to handstand into the arch position from the top. It was really well done.
Kind of a methodical approach, mirroring the music, plodding along from one skill to the next.
This is a difficult pyramid to build. The middle in a needle scale with the top on just one point of balance, her foot. Very nice. Good synchronicity. Very dramatic presentation. A really strong routine from Extreme Acro.
Burrows, Feldman, And Quintanilla finishing up strong as we move over to the hoop routine of Serena Liu.
Serena is from my home gym. She's had an awesome international season this year, so hopefully she keeps it up today, tomorrow, and on Saturday. This is her second year as a senior. Last year she competed 2 events at the World Championships.
We saw some early mishaps from Zhang and Kerber.
Great start.
Might open the door for Liu.
Yes, absolutely. Everyone's super close. Every routine matters at this point. Great turn from Serena.
And national championships for hoop and ball on the line tonight.
Yes. That was a difficult toss that she caught very clean.
After attending the World Championships, do you feel like even the judges at a USA Championships hold you to a higher level?
Definitely. You definitely do have a certain standard. And as you saw, she did fumble on a mastery, which will be a deduction, and she just had a fumble on her fouette turn. But she competed 2 events as her first year as a senior at World Championships, so that was already a very big deal. So now she's hoping to compete this year as well. Just to stay strong for the rest of her routine. Difficult last mastery. The routine as a whole was very good, but she will get the points deducted for the mastery that she dropped and the element that she missed.
Seeing some first event jitters from all the top competitors here thus far in the Rhythmic competition. We're going to move over to Kristin Van Natta of Guy Sports Academy. Her first pass on double mini.
Tristan's a great athlete on double mini. Got a lot of international experience. See how she does here. And this format that we mentioned is a little bit harder for these athletes. Looking good on the first skill. Went up nice on the second skill, right in the red box. So she does the double front half in a tuck position to a double twisting, double back tuck dismount.
Good compression and then opens up.
Yes. Judges want to see you get completely open and straight by 12 o'clock on the final somersault and maintain that straight line all the way into the landing surface.
Good display there from Kristin Van Natta as we move over to Brandon Krasnevsky.
Brandon's a very consistent competitor. Struggled a little bit with that transition and again, but he knows how to fight through. They want to get to that yellow landing zone at the end. There is a deduction if they land back on the rebounding floor. They want to get onto the landing mat, so he will get a deduction for that. Struggled with both transitions from the doubles back to the whips, but such a strong athlete is able to fight his way through the routine, keep himself in the game, hopefully get a better second pass.
No giving up. Determination, the name of the game there in the first pass of Brandon Krasnevsky. We're moving over now to Romina Gupta, Shayna Jones, Kaylee Watana, ATA.
ATA is another California team.
And seeing full-length unitards.
Yeah, we haven't seen another one of those tonight.
Feeling herself a little there in the middle. Getting the routine underway. Interesting that they would have to practice these pyramids while balancing on unitard material rather than bare skin.
That's true.
Maybe something that works a little bit better for them, or just depends on the athletes?
Probably depends on the athlete's preference. Sometimes it can be difficult if the material stretches. top, showing her second press to handstand of this routine. A little bit high in the arch position. Her legs should be a little bit lower.
Pretty theatrical performance here.
It's true, they're going for a more dramatic routine. Everyone's trying to do something different to stand out in this division.
From what you
There's
wear
so many athletes.
to what skills you do.
You want the judges to remember you. Even if it means taking a fashion risk.
Right. Solid routine there for Gupta, Jones, and Matana. As we move over to Camilla Feely.
Now with call for North Shore Rhythmic, Camilla Feely.
Camilla is a first-year senior this year. She's had a great start this year. She actually won national qualifiers this year, with the exception that 4 national team members weren't there, but she still had a great run there.
Do you think that adds pressure or motivation here?
Definitely a motivation. I mean, she's generally a very consistent gymnast, and when you win qualifiers, I guess you do have the confidence that you have a spot on top, but you have to just make sure it doesn't let you phase out, or the time preparing for nationals that you're still working hard.
Feely emoting up to the audience. Great to see her kind of emoting out from the floor.
Good rethrow from Camilla.
Earlier you mentioned Laura Zhang taking a non-classical approach to ball with some more upbeat music. Seeing that again here, do you think that's going to be a trend this coming season?
Everyone's trying to do something very different, because obviously everyone's trying new things, new music choices, so it might be an upcoming thing, but now it's already starting, so every coach and every team and every gymnast is looking for a new approach and something different. That was a great turn from Camilla. Great routine until the end. It's so hard when you almost think you're almost done, and then the music's almost over and you mess up the last thing.
Right, maybe just a bit too relaxed right at the end there for Camilla
lose concentration
Feely.
at the end.
Now taking a look at Alyssa Long with her first pass on double mini. What can we expect here?
Yeah, I'm interested to see what she's got here. It's all about the difficulty on double mini, since it's only 2 skills. If you can put together 2 big skills, you can really move up fast. So she goes for the full twisting double back straight, but she had what would be considered kind of an easier mount with the double front half out tuck. So more of an average level of difficulty on that, and did go outside of the box.
Just a little low on the landing as well as we move over to Will Nunez of Oklahoma Extreme.
Will going on his first pass. Once again, this is the straight pass, so no twisting involved here. Unable to make that transition.
Unfortunate first pass for Will there. He'll look to recover in the second.
No room for error on those transitions from the doubles back into the rhythm sections. You really got to hit the angle perfect. The floors are not very forgiving on that.
And does that result in a 0?
No, he'll get scored based off of the number of skills he did.
Okay. Moving over now, seems to be the trend in the group division.
These are actually also from ATA, so maybe it's a trend with a team.
Alrighty, keeping it consistent. Nina Deshpande, Taryn Keys, and Allison Takunaga.
This is actually the last women's group in this division, 12 to 18.
A lot of competition going on. We've seen a lot of different things brought to the table. Interesting to see who comes out on top. All of these competitors.
going into their first pyramid. Strong so far. A little bit high in that high legs in that arched position by the top.
Setting up here for their next pyramid. Some difficulty getting up there. They'll reattempt. Into it solid. Somewhat simple transition down.
These girls are also going for a more dramatic routine. This pyramid has been popular in this division, the needle scale.
Dramatic finish. Unfortunate bobble right in the middle of that routine, but finished up strong with their last pyramid. That was just Pandy, Keys, and Takunaga.
Now with hoop for Euro Gymnastics, Gabrielle Lowenstein.
Getting our second look here at Gabby Lowenstein, this time with hoop.
This is Gabby's second event, and it'll be the final event for today. It's definitely hard that the girls are training in a different gym with a different ceiling. That matters a lot for hoop because you get adjusted to a certain ceiling. And in the other gym, it's definitely lower and darker, so it's definitely hard when they come out here. But Gabby has a very good dancing routine. She's very expressive, and she shows that in this routine particularly. Clean catch.
Aggressive on that turn.
That was a very interesting catch for her.
And in the traditional sense of the word catch, it doesn't always have to be with your hands.
No, you actually get an extra 10 if you catch or toss without your hands. That's an example of the mastery, as I said. Small drop when sometimes when you get into your dancing steps, you focus on the expression that you forget about your hoop. It's all a balance of performing and worrying about your hoop and your body. It's a mix of all three.
Pretty solid here. No visible large drops, would you agree?
No visible large, but she did drop during a dancing step, so that will be a certain penalty, and she won't get credit for that dancing step. But no major drops, and the elements were pretty good. So pretty good routine for Gabby.
Hint of a smile there for Lowenstein as she steps off. Moving back over to Alex Rinkert, his second pass here.
Yeah, Alex is like Austin Nacy, is one of those athletes who is multi-talented. He is at a very high level for both double mini trampoline and power tumbling. So we'll see him compete on both events. Look at that. Full and brainy out pike, triple back pike in the box, and that's the pass that he used in the double mini team final at the World Championships in 2013 that got them the team gold medal. Kind of famous for that pass.
Consistent winner for him. As we move over to Bryce Wilson.
This is the second pass for Bryce. He did not complete enough skills in his first pass to receive a score. So he's kind of out of the running now, but he would like to finish up now. Just not his day today. Something must have felt wrong, or he missed his mark, or don't know. But
sometimes one of those inexplicable things that is a consequence of sport.
He may just not have been able to snap himself out of the frustration after the first pass. I don't know.
Unfortunate there for Bryce Wilson. We're going to move over to our first mixed pair in the dynamic routine, 12 to 18 division. This is Anna Blau and Brian Coffey.
This mixed pair is from Realis, the same gym where Ryan Ward and Kylie Boynton are from. Ryan and Kylie recently got bronze at the World Championships last year.
What age did you start competing in mixed pairs, Kristin?
I started competing in mixed pairs when I was 11 years old.
And prior to that, it was a women's trio?
I did women's pair and women's trio.
All right. And that was just kind of a consequence of?
I guess just the partnerships that were available in the gym.
Right.
I love mixed pair though. Definitely a little bit biased.
And why do you think that is? What can we expect from this division? Well, needless to say, we're seeing it right now.
Yep. This is their dynamic routine, so you'll see lots of flips and throws and catches. This mixed pair is in the 12 to 18 division, but as you get up into 13 to 19 and senior elite, you'll see more of a storyline happening in the routines, more character work. It really can only happen in mixed pair.
And like you said, kind of the skills at that point are just kind of second nature, and then you're performing to a greater degree.
Definitely. You can see these guys are still focusing on the tricks. They're not keeping their facial expressions going in and out of the skills. But that will come with time. They're telling some kind of story.
Right.
Can't tell exactly what it is.
He was late to something, and it's no good, but solid routine there. Fun to watch for Anna Blau and Brian Coffey. Our first look at the mixed pairs tonight. We're going to move over to Sydney Rhodes now with the ball.
Sydney did a pretty clean hoop routine. Let's see if she can keep it up for ball. She trains in Tampa, Florida, actually.
How important would you say is a dramatic start in the eyes of the judges?
It's definitely important to start dramatically, but in my opinion, I feel the ending should be very strong always. That's the last impression the judges always have of you. So if you end off strong, maybe something that they saw in the middle or something, like they kind of forget about it.
Interesting. You kind of want to intrigue them a little bit at the beginning, but then really knock their socks off at the end.
Yeah, but sometimes it's hard to put hard tricks at the end because you kind of get anxious if you're going to be late to music because that's introduction. So you try to rush and lose concentration. So obviously putting risky things in the end is a very big risk and challenge.
Right,
that was a good balance from her though, yeah.
Performing the Somewhere Over the Rainbow. We saw her with the hoop perform a clean, consistent routine, but her difficulty wasn't up there. So is that just a consequence of, first year, senior?
Yeah, her elements aren't the most expensive ones out of all of them. She does them clean. Sometimes it's better to pick the elements that don't cost as much, but you know that you'll definitely get credit for. So often she does single doubles, like there that was a single penché spin rotation where most gymnasts do 2 or 3 at least. The last catch was a little sloppy, so she will get execution deduction for that. But for her first nationals as a senior today was pretty good for her, no major mistakes.
Right, getting the first one under her belt for Sydney Rhodes there. Back over to Stuart Pritchard, his second pass now.
Yeah, Stuart looking to defend his national title in his hometown here. Oh, did not make it up onto the past the mounting surface. So even had he made that second skill, it would not have counted because he didn't clear that little red section that's in the center of the double mini.
And in double mini, you can almost tell instantaneously.
Yeah, if it's going good or if it's going bad.
Right. Jackson Tyson stepping up now for his second pass in tumbling.
Yeah, Jackson had the best first pass, not by much, just edging out Brandon in the first pass. So wants to put together a good second pass here so he can maintain his lead. Once again, this is the twisting pass, so we're going to see if he can put together multiple twisting double somersaults in this pass. There's a full twisting double back straight, and he's going to finish up with a double twisting double back in kind of the tuck position.
Right.
A little bit of a frog in a blender tuck, but
great momentum throughout, though, as you said. Important to work out of that. Kept it going toward the end.
It's almost like he was thinking of going for the triple twist and spread his legs to stop the twist.
Interesting approach, but solid routine nonetheless to his feet for Jackson Tyson. As we move to Annalise Feuerstein and Ryan Page. They were teasing us, Kristin. I thought that was going to be something big right off the top.
This will be their first element. Nice linked catch there.
Music building and getting the crowd involved.
Nice little smirk to the judges there. These two are definitely strong performers.
Right, looks like they're going the clean route so far. Not necessarily the largest difficulty, but very clean skills, well executed.
I like that they're showing connection with each other as well as connection to the judges.
And again, those are some of those intangibles that you can't really necessarily teach in sport. It takes two athletes who really understand that mentality.
That's true. A little bit of wobbling on this trick, a few extra steps that didn't need to be there.
Right, always looking for those bases, feet to stay planted throughout the entire skill.
Great performance.
Nice connection there for Annalise Feuerstein and Ryan Page. We're going to move over to the second pass of Tristan Van Natta.
Yeah, mentioned Tristan has some international experience. In 2013, Tristan was the silver medalist at the World Championships, as well as being a member of the gold medal winning team for the U.S.
No slouch there.
Not at all. Get set. Making sure she's got the right start spot. Here she comes. Pike double front with a half to a full twisting double back. probably get credit for straight on that. Looked like she meant to do it in a tuck position. Maybe felt she was rotating too fast and opened it up, but I don't think she hit the necessary angles. No, definitely going to count as a straight on that. Hopefully she didn't plan to use a straight somewhere in finals.
Interesting approach. Tristan Van Nat will have some things to think about. Perhaps Brandon Krasnevsky for his second pass here.
Chasing down Jackson. Try to see if he can catch him on this one. Finishing with a nice full in, full out tuck.
I would say the cleanliness, the execution there was ahead of Jackson. Buckled a little bit, it looked like right here.
But picks it back up quickly. Yeah, Brandon's always been known for his nice, clean, long, smooth tumbling.
He'll be looking for the number for that one. Moving now to Sladen Osborne and Lydia Webb. They represent WOGA.
These two waiting for the judges to finish tallying their scores. It's always tough when you have that extra time to wait, to stay focused, not let any doubt come into your head.
Right, you're ready. It goes without saying, you know, in commentaries through any discipline, you know, it's always brought up. Is it difficult to wait? Yeah, you're out there to compete. You're ready to go. They're underway now.
Lydia, the top of this mixed pair, already starting out showing beautiful lines in her dance.
Dynamic.
Rosman to handstand, really nice amplitude. Souk back tuck, really clean landing.
Again, interesting to see the progression through these pairs. As you said, trying to tell the story and connection. We're seeing that as the night progresses here.
I'm loving this tango style routine that these two are doing. It's one of my favorite things about mixed pairs, seeing the lifts that they can do in their choreography. Back tuck, back to catch. Nicely executed. Double off. All of their landings are spot on.
And in terms of the way the base supports the foot, is there standard protocol or is it whatever works best?
Usually you have 2 fingers towards the toe, and then the heel of your hand rests just below the heel of the top's foot.
And I'm assuming partner transitions are a part of the sport. So is it safe to say that sometimes you transition to a partner and have to learn a kind of a completely different way to execute skills?
Oh yeah, it's totally different. It's really difficult to switch partners, especially in mixed pair. So much trust is built between you, and even just subtle differences like the angle of someone's hands versus someone else will totally change your center of balance. So you have to completely relearn things when you switch partners.
And that's, again, the strategy to allow these partnerships to last as long as possible.
Definitely. That was a gorgeous, gorgeous routine.
Very fun to watch. Sladen Osborne and Lydia Webb. Final double mini competitor of this rotation will be Alyssa Long.
Yeah, Alyssa last year was the silver medalist on double mini. Her first pass, she had decent difficulty, not high difficulty, so we'll see what she decides to do here. Opening up with a little too slow, and yeah, first skill definitely too slow, landed it short, so was not able to get the power to get high enough for the second skill to make it all the way around.
Unfortunate, seemed to travel a little bit in that first skill as well.
Yeah, so won't get credit for her second skill, so we'll just be, scored out of 7 points instead of 10 points.
Will Nunez, now the final competitor of this rotation, his second pass.
Will unable to make his connection from the double back into his whips on the first pass. We'll see if he decides to try a connection again or if he's just going to go singles to the double at the end. Looks like he's just going to whip down to the end. Still having a little trouble with his rhythm. Did not perform a twisting somersault as his final dismount, so will be a deduction there.
Will Nunez not happy with that performance, but safely to his feet at the end of this rotation. We'll be back with more action after this.
And please join me in welcoming our next flight.
I was going for you, but you weren't looking. Show me the dance. Show me the dance.
Gymnasts may now begin the warm-up period.
All right, check it out, Greensboro. We're going to kick the dance cam in full gear here. If you want an autographed T-shirt from Kristin Allen and Rebecca Sereda, you got to show me your best dance moves. Get on up, Greensboro. Let's do this. Oh, that was some dancing right here. This mom right here. Yep, move over a little bit. Yeah, you. Here we go. And then we got this dad over here. He was rocking right up here. Is that a Hawaiian t-shirt, sir?
This concludes the warm-up
Oh,
period.
yeah.
Competition will
Come
now
on down
begin.
here, sir. Yeah, you got it, sir. Come on, come on.
Now on double mini trampoline for World Elite, Brienne Millard.
Starting off now, this next rotation right into the action with Brienne Millard, her first pass on double mini.
Yeah, Brienne coached by one of the athletes we saw earlier, world champion Austin White. Here goes Brienne, first pass. Full in double A. Outside of the box, but good. It's a skill that's got good difficulty in the women's division.
Tight execution here. See the chest at the end.
Yeah, she really tried to hold on to her straight lines, but just a bad angle on takeoff.
Here goes Ty Carlson for his first pass.
It's his straight pass. Let's see what he's got in store. He's going to do a double A. Looks like two doubles in this pass. Going to finish with a double back pike.
Solid. Few steps on the landing. Talk about kind of the control on those landings.
It's difficult doing 8 skills in a row. You're a little bit dizzy when you get to the end. So real hard to stick those completely solid. What we're going to see separating the men on the tumbling is the guys who do 3 double somersaults and the guys who do 2 double somersaults.
That would be the great equalizer, I would say. Moving now to the dynamic routine of a women's pair, Samantha Surveillon and Heather Vachon. They compete for ATA.
Both of these girls have been in acro for a long time. Expecting to see great presentation from these two. Double twist.
The landing was very close to the base, what they're going for, right?
Yep, and that wrap back pike was a little bit over rotated. Be a slight deduction. Nice Rosman to handstand. It's difficult for a women's pair to do. Women's pairs have a more difficult time because they tend to have a smaller difference in size. Heather here is a really strong base.
Able to throw the big skills. Coming up here.
A little bit long. You want to look for amplitude in each of the dynamic elements.
Playing off each other. Energy might be waning just a little bit at this point.
And they're starting to look a bit tired. Ooh, a little bit under rotated. That'll be a deduction on that catch. Strong finish though.
Samantha Surveillon and Heather Vachon finishing up their first routine of the night. Looking now at Harley Merritt.
Yeah, we got to look at Harley earlier over on Tumbling. Now we get to take a look at what she can do on double mini. Watching her in the warm-up, her mounts, she does some different stuff. I would say it's a little bit unorthodox. We'll see if she does it here on this pass. There it is, a Branny into a double layout. but I have to say she does it pretty well. Typically you see the athletes do the half twist on the second somersault. She chooses to do it on the first somersault, as you'll see here on the replay. There it is, something we don't see very often in trampoline and tumbling, but she makes the transition fairly well.
Works for her. Easy to get a little rushed in that technique as well. So Harley Merritt made it work on her first pass at double mini. Moving now to Garrett Waterstrat, his first pass in tumbling.
Another athlete we already saw today, he competed on double mini. He's currently sitting up towards the top on double mini. Beautiful double layout. Look at that transition. Here he's going to go for 3 separate doubles, finishing off with that double pike. Beautiful landing.
Easy for Waterstrat.
Yeah, you can see he maintained a consistent rhythm all the way down the floor, and that's really the main thing they're being scored on.
And the thing I'm noticing here is his arm position. It's almost like his arms are stabilizing him throughout. It's still allowing him to gain momentum.
Yeah, he really uses them to help control the speed so he can hit those exact angles to make those transitions.
Strong start for Garrett Waterstrat in tumbling. Moving now to the mixed pair of Maddie Marlowe and Joseph McGraw from AGSA.
These two are in the 13 to 19 age group, competing their dynamic routine.
And do most pairs wear chalk on their hands?
Yes, definitely. Chalk helps prevent slipping. And when you get nervous, you get a little bit sweaty.
You think gymnastics, you think chalk. Doesn't matter which discipline.
It's true. It's a difficult element, starting from the floor and flipping up onto the hands.
Great, and I love that right with the music.
And oh, they went for another back tuck to catch. Didn't make that one. Let's see how they recover the rest of the routine. Took them a little bit to get back on the music. They're recovering now.
Right, there's no good time to get off the music. Sometimes they're a little bit easier to get back into it than others.
Nice toe pitch to handstand in the arched position. A Souk layout, a little bit over rotated. She sank a little bit too low in her knees, landing there.
Working well from it, some early woes. Also, the connection just seems to be a little lacking in this one.
Yeah, I feel like they haven't totally recovered from that fall in the beginning of the routine.
Hard to get off your rhythm early on.
It's another thing that just comes with experience.
That's an innovative move. We saw some front twisting a little bit earlier, but not much in the mix yet. Talk about kind of the differences to approaching front and back twisting.
Yeah, I think front twisting was always more difficult for me, as I'm a left twister. People tend to pick one way that they twist usually, which I'm sure applies in trampoline and tumbling as well.
All over the place. Looking at Crystal Lowell now, this is one of the big names we're going to see tonight.
Crystal is a world champion. There's actually 2 world champions in this group of women's double mini. There we go, doing the double twisting, double back in the straight position. We don't see that all the time in the women's division, and that right there is why she is a world champion.
Interesting technique, kind of leaves that last half twist so she can see the ground the entire time.
Yeah, in trampoline, a lot of them will do more of a 1.5 twist on the first and half on the second, so they have that branny to spot the landing on the last flip.
Underway with Jake Carter now.
Making a nice transition there, choosing just to do the 2 doubles, but does both of them fairly well.
Puts it down, looks happy with that one. Nice arch position in these double layouts. Final look at the double layout here. Plants it, couple steps, moving over quickly to Ali Prato now.
Allie's currently in the lead after the first event. So let's see if she nails the swoop routine, then she might be in the lead after the first day.
And again, seeing some nerves from a lot of the top names, so the door is open for Prato here.
It's definitely hard. They're definitely waiting a very long time for their turn, and they have to walk a long way. We're used to training in the back and walking and coming onto the carpet right away. No break really, maybe like a minute or two, rather than here they have like a 10-minute break before they get onto the actual competition floor. So it's definitely difficult, but it's who can combine their nerves together and fully perform the routine.
Testing the athletes, preparing them for the international stage.
Do you think that wait time is difficult, especially for rhythmic gymnasts, because of the flexibility that they need to maintain?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, some gymnasts are naturally more flexible, but others will probably be in the back right now stretching because that's the only thing we could do. But a lot of us like to do a lot of tosses right before, practice our main things, and we can't do that at the moment right now because we walk straight out on the carpet here. So the girls definitely have some difficult time, but it is the same routine that they have been practicing at home. So Allie's routine's been going pretty good so far. Elements have been well, risks have been good. And that was a clean catch from her as well. It was a very good routine until the end. She hit it off her foot, ironically. Had she gone quicker into the roll, she probably would have caught it. It was flying towards her.
Fumble right there at the end. Unfortunate for Leah Prato.
That's an extra deduction for ending without the apparatus as well.
Erin Yock now.
Yeah, I mentioned there was 2 world champions in this group. Here's the other one. And she is by far the best woman I've ever seen on double mini. We're going to see why here. Look at how high she gets. Plenty of time to show her extensions on each skill. Just makes it look easy.
And again, that's kind of the approach that you want in this round of competition.
You can just see the extension on that first skill. Plenty of height, can open up, show the judges that it is easy for her.
Austin Nacy, jack of all trades tonight. What can we expect to see from him?
Well, he finished double mini in first place, and I'm sure he'd like to do that on tumbling. And he definitely can. He is one of the best tumblers we have in the U.S. right now. Look at that transition. Oh, no.
Does that hurt when you land like that?
It sure looked like it did. He actually overturned that transition, got a little too low on his whip, and couldn't get his takeoff angle for his second double leg. Looked like he was going to come out of it great, but couldn't hang on to all that speed.
Shows you just how quickly, 1 millisecond, one, hip angle or shoulder movement can throw everything off. Ainsley Boynton and Maxim Sedechenkov.
Ainsley is actually Kylie Boynton's younger sister. Kylie won the bronze medal at the World Championships last year. It's a lot of pressure to have an older sibling like that.
Acro in the family. Do we see a lot of acro competitors kind of passing it down?
Definitely. That was an interesting mount. You don't see that very often. Front boost in the laid out position.
You don't. Kind of makes you take a second look.
High double pike. Another double out of that wrap position.
And are the mass and height deduction difference deductions carried over through the mixed pairs as well?
Yes, the deduction is carried over, so these two will receive that as well. Obviously, you see with their amplitude and all of their tricks, they get a lot higher than everyone else. Nice twisting there by Ainsley. Presentation is a little bit lacking from these two. Would have liked to see more connection between them and connection to the judges as well.
Right, they're relying right now on the big dynamic skills alone. Ainsley has a great body line though. Just
yes, she does.
Like a dart on all of these elements.
And creative choreography. Definitely some interesting transitions from these two. Some great elements. A little bit lacking in artistry.
High energy routine there from Boynton and Sodochenkov as we move quickly over to Amanda Spitzer.
Yeah, Amanda's an athlete who we see a lot in the finals for women's double mini. Usually goes for some pretty big difficulty. At a 1.5 twisting double front to a full twisting double back and sticks the landing.
We're seeing the level of competition raise up here in this rotation.
Yeah, I think the first girl tonight who's chosen to do the twist on both somersaults on the first skill.
Settles into that landing. Now looking at Ty Carlson. This is his second pass.
Yeah, so Ty's got to get some twisting skills in on this second pass. Let's see what he chooses to do. A lot of speed on that run. Going for a double twisting double layout. I'm going to try to tumble out of it, but it's kind of on the side. Oh, not.
Really went for it.
No giving up from this guy. He's just going to do it. Really,
sure did.
Really on the side of the floor there and just kept pushing through and decided, I'm at the championships. I'm not stopping.
Now we know. Ty Carlson's going after it.
Well, you got to be a little crazy to do this sport in the first place, and I think he proved that.
Fair enough. Verified from Ty Carlson. Moving now over to Heather Chan. Probably won't be as dynamic.
No, she has a slow routine for this routine.
Right.
And it does have words in it, so she uses that.
Coming off the mini heart attack that Ty Carlson just gave the crowd.
Yeah, a little soothing music. That was a very difficult move from Heather.
Heather Chen can calm us down a little bit.
Keeping our blood pressure in check.
I mean, for me, she's from my home team, so obviously nerves are a little more nerve-wracking for her.
She makes everything look so effortless.
That's the goal for rhythmic gymnastics. We aren't allowed to have preparation time. That's actually deduction. Everything's supposed to seem very easy, and sometimes people underestimate the actual hardness of what we're doing. This is an example of one of Heather's very flexible moves.
I'd say so. But like Kristin mentioned, just kind of moving effortlessly across the floor from one thing to the next.
That will definitely impact her artistry score. She's very graceful and very effortless, and it matches the music, and it adds to the total picture of her routine. A little shakiness there, but she's saving the balance, which is a very expensive one. So she'll still get credit for just a small execution of that.
And would you say, in terms of Heather Chan's all-around program, where does ball kind of fall as in terms of her best?
Heather doesn't have necessarily a best. This year she's been competing clubs very well, which she'll be doing tomorrow. Ball has been kind of struggling, but she did pretty well.
Nice presentation there from Heather Chan. As we move over to another group, this is the 13 to 19-year-old division. This is going to be a balanced presentation from Sophie Grushka, Morgan Sweeney, and Amanda Watterson.
These girls are from West Coast Training Center, which is my home team.
Bringing the electric orange and some ruffles out there.
Yeah, we haven't seen those before. Skirts are actually a new addition to the fashion scene in acro.
Interesting.
Did you guys get it from Rhythmic?
We must have.
Ooh, tension down there.
I like them, though. I think it makes it a little more fun.
That's another dimension.
This is a beautiful pyramid with both the middle and the top transitioning into the arched position.
Yes.
Very difficult.
Speaking of dimension, that kind of evolved into something really, really beautiful right there.
It was really solid. Great synchronization from these three. A little step from the base there, getting into this pyramid. He seems to be recovering well. Very difficult transition from the middle there, using a ton of core strength, and then the top making that press transition look effortless into handstand. Back into straddle. These three are so solid. Very little deduction on that element.
Really memorable routine already. Skirts aside.
You definitely can't forget the skirts. You can see how quickly the top is climbing into that pyramid.
Right, where you might find yourself looking down in other routines, they're right into the action. So great to see, as you said, kind of that development as athletes go on.
You're going to finish really strong here. Fabulous routine.
Fun presentation for Grushka, Sweeney, and Watterson, representing Kristin Allen's home gym, West Coast Training Center. Moving now to Brianne Millard. This is her second pass on double mini.
Brianne looking to get a good second pass here. Decent first pass. Not quite far enough on the first skill, but saves it on the second skill. Slightly out of bounds there, but not bad for Brianne.
Looked like maybe tiny bit stutter stepping.
Yeah, maybe a little too close on the approach. You can see that little center red section on the double mini. They want to clear that if they can before they start the second skill.
Garrett Waterstrat coming off that great first pass.
Yeah, going to go into the twisting pass. This is where it gets really complicated, doing those multiple somersaults with twist and then connecting them into other skills.
Never easy.
Way up. Look at that.
Using those arms.
Look at that. 2 double twisting, double tucks, and they are allowed to do 2 as long as the skill prior to it was different. So you can see he does a back handspring to the double-double, and then here he's going to do a whip to the double-double.
Important.
So impressive.
Exclamation point on the end of that for Garrett Waterstrat. Moving now to our next balance group. This is Emma Bentov-Lagman, Kristen Connerny, and Liliana Dyer. Coming to us from First Class Gymnastics Inc.
Nice press to handstand. Top showing great flexibility. Just minor wobbles there.
Crowd responding to a strong start.
Going into their second pyramid. This is called a TP.
I get it. Excellent. And Kristin, talk about a little bit how you found your way to acrobatic gymnastics, because it's not really a road that's open for a ton of young athletes to get into.
That's true. There aren't that many gyms in the country, but it is a growing sport. It is great. I actually grew up in a hometown with one of the best acro gyms in the country, and I had a friend who did it. And I would go and watch some of her practices, and I just really wanted to try it. It took me 2 years to convince my parents to let me do it.
2 years well spent.
Definitely.
quick transition up to this pyramid.
Yes, these girls are really good at climbing up into their skills efficiently. Those beautiful holds. Overall, a very graceful routine, just minimal execution errors.
Really letting the skills talk for themselves, the music kind of just in the background there for Bentov Lagman, Connerny, and Dyer. We're taking a look now at Harley Merritt, her final pass tonight on double mini.
See, once again, those athletes trying to see if they can get that second skill to land in that red box. Once again, she does that granny in mount. A little bit sloppy on that pass, but hey, it's 2 double mini passes made, and that's not easy to do.
And again, mission tonight, get into finals.
Yes. Not bad.
Also looking to stamp his ticket into finals is Jake Carter.
Yeah, here we are on this twisting pass that is so difficult. Let's see what he's going to choose to do. He's doing a full out straight. He's trying to recover here to a full out tuck.
Finds his way to his feet. Gutsy performance there from Jake Carter. Giving it up.
Yeah, not enough speed on that first one, and really had to pull his legs in to try to rebuild some of that speed, but got enough speed to finish the pass, so great job for him.
Laura Zhang now with hoop, one to watch early on. Hopefully she can recover from some early mishaps with the ball from her first routine.
Yes, we're hoping for a clean routine from Laura that will definitely let her reach towards the top. That was a nice jump from Laura. She always is known for her high tosses, and she always has a lot of rotations under the toss, which causes larger difficulty. Here you see she's moving around the entire carpet. That's always very good when the gymnast is moving actively around the carpet, not staying in one spot for a long period of time.
And also allowing her movement to mirror the music.
Exactly, yes. Everything adds into the artistry.
I'm interested to ask everybody up here, you know, if you had to, regardless of gender, which discipline would you be most apprehensive to try out?
Oh gosh, it's a difficult question.
I mean, I don't think I'd be very good at trampoline or tumbling, to be honest.
Well, I wouldn't mind tossing the hoop around, but I can't fold like that, that's for sure.
I'm thinking trampoline.
Well, you know, at 6'1", I think I'd make a great flyer in a men's quad for acro.
That was overall.
Somebody would have to lift you.
Definitely a better routine for Laura than ball. She had a few small mistakes, but nothing large, so she definitely should get a higher score than her ball score.
Laura Zhang looking happy with herself after that hoop routine. Now looking at the second pass of world champ Crystal Lowell.
Yeah, did a really good first pass. Gonna see if she can make this next one. Anything to her feet here, I think she'll get into finals. Starting off with an easier mount, but to a very difficult dismount. Sticks the landing. Great pass, just the 1 foot out of bounds, so she get the deduction on that, but other than that, not a bad pass.
And the equalizer here, you know, it's one thing to throw the skills and then, you know, the landing is what it is, but Crystal Lowell goes after it.
Yeah, she does great. That's why she's a world champion. Waving to the fans there.
Now taking a look at Austin Nacy.
Couldn't complete that first pass. Really unfortunate, but see what he has for the audience here on the second at least. Look at that.
He has a double-double laid out.
Triple twisting double straight. Does the full straight to the Miller straight. Named after good old Wayne Miller. Look at that rhythm and how he builds speed to the end. Keeps his legs straight the whole time.
Textbook momentum throughout that one.
Unfortunate he couldn't put together that first pass, because I think that really would have put him way out in the lead with that pass.
Now moving over to Eileen Corbett, Sydney Wu, and Nicole Yamamoto from West Coast Training Center.
This is the second group in this category from West Coast. So some in-team competition.
Setting up here.
This is a really difficult pyramid to press to handstand on. Did a nice job. Just a few minor wobbles. These girls are showing some great synchronization. Getting ready to go into their next pyramid. A 2-to-1 press to handstand there. It's a difficult move from the top. Transitioning back down into straddle. And another transition into the crocodile position.
Strong throughout.
Really nicely done. You can see all of those 3-second holds. Another needle scale.
On trend right now in America.
Just a straddle there. Overall, really nice routine. Strong elements. Didn't totally pop, but I think they did a really solid job.
That was Corbett Wu and Yamamoto as we look at Erin Yock now.
Current world champion. As we notice on her first pass, the extreme height she can get on her opening skill. Let's see if she can do it again on this pass. I think she's looking to do a little higher difficulty even on this pass. There it is, the 1.5 twisting double front to a double layout. Beautiful. That's called the Rudy out, that mounter, as she does the Rudy on the second flip. So she's doing it out. That's a Rudy out. Double back layout done beautifully.
Zeroes
Easy landing.
She's in the red, which is in the green. Brigitte Budginas now.
Yeah, she did a consistent hoop routine, so hopefully if she does a consistent ball routine, she should be high up in the ranks after the first day of competition. Oh, the ball gets a little stuck here, but she managed to get it rolled out.
And we see some of the extra apparatus sitting there next to the floor. Can you explain that to us?
Well, in the case that the ball or the hoop does go out of bounds and say it flies very far away, they are allowed to take the spare apparatus and instead of spending so much of the routine time running after the apparatus. Since ball and hoop can roll very far, sometimes the best decision is to pick up the spare. But the only thing is you're used to your own equipment, so then you end up doing your routine with an apparatus you aren't familiar with.
Interesting trade-off and in-the-moment decision, sometimes not easy to make.
Yeah, sometimes the gymnast will go run and spend half their routine running after their apparatus when ideally the best option would have been to take the spare. That was a clean catch. Good routine from Brigida. Today was a good day from her. She had solid 2 performances. There's been a lot of large mistakes today. So I guess performing clean routines will definitely keep her up on the top.
Looking happy with herself, finishing up day 1 in fine fashion. Now looking at our final 13 to 19 balance routine of the night. It's Eleanor Chang, Abigail Disman, and Melanie Vaughn from Amelia's Acro.
There have been some really strong routines in this division of 13 to 19 women's group. So we'll see if these girls can beat out one of the other groups.
And they've also been waiting a long time from the beginning of the competition tonight. You know, they've got a long time to wait and sit. As we talked about, you know, the athletes are having to prepare themselves in kind of a different format.
That's true.
See some shaking in the arms.
A little bit of shaking. You can see the middle's arms are struggling to stay squeezed in. Top did a great job of holding that together, though. Going to see another TP pyramid here. Taking a little bit of extra time getting into these pyramids.
Pretty nice straddle position there. We'll see how low she can take it.
The top is doing a great job of hanging on to these positions. You can see the bases are starting to kind of tilt and their legs are starting to get wider, and she's managing to hang on to
She's committed.
these positions. Yes, she is. Great competitor.
Not coming down.
And yet another needle scale.
Who doesn't need another needle scale? I can see what you're saying. We're seeing the contrast between this group and the others. Just a tiny bit longer and feeling secure in those positions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to see confidence going in and out.
Chang, Disman, and Vaughn finishing up here. They're our final acro group of this rotation.
Still a solid routine, no major mistakes.
And we'll finish this one with Amanda Spitzer.
Yeah, Amanda Spitzer is from San Diego area down in Southern California, and here she goes on her final pass for double mini. Doing what we call a spotter pass, which we haven't seen yet today. It's where they do a straight jump first and then perform their first skill on that flat area of the double mini.
You got to warn me about that, because she, again, pulse is raising. This rotation put me through it.
Yeah, they're very difficult to be consistent on that, to take all that speed from the run and then try to place your first bounce exactly so you can do 2 more skills. Not an easy thing to do.
Spitzer plants it down and finishes out that rotation. We'll be back for the final one coming up next.
Here we go, here we go. Let me see you move. Here we go. Come on. Show me the moves. Okay, that's a little scary, but I'll shoot you a shirt.
Gymnasts may now begin the warm-up.
All right, check it out, Greensboro. I mean, this guy right here is one of the greatest ever at power tumbling. 20 world medals, 4 World Cup titles, 8 national championships, 2 world records for difficulty. Give it up for Kalin Ludvigsson. This is just amazing to me. First of all, 2 world records for difficulty. Let's jump right to that. What was that?
Well, the first one I broke in Argentina, and it was round off, full in, full out straight, whip, back handspring, full in, full out straight, whip, back handspring, full in, full and a half out straight. And then in 2011, I broke it again in Odense, Denmark, and it was round off, full in, full out straight, whip, back handspring, full in, full out straight, whip, back handspring, full in, double full out, or Miller straight.
There's a lot of full in, full outs and straights in that. Wow. One piece of advice for these future stars in the crowd here that want to be great at tumbling and trampoline.
Believe in your coach and work hard, and anything's possible.
You heard it right here from one of the greatest. Kalin's in the house. Big round of applause for Kalin Ludvigsson.
Thank you, John. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the current standings as we head into the final rotation of competition on the first night of the USA Gymnastics Championships. This concludes the warm-up period, and competition will now begin in the final rotation. Starting off on double mini trampoline for White Tumble Academy, Kalin Lewis.
We're back for the final rotation of action here at the 2015 USA Gymnastics Championships, getting right underway with Kalin Lewis.
Yeah, this is an athlete that I'm not quite familiar with here, but let's see what she's doing. Pike braining out to a double back straight, lacking a little bit of power on that. It's not going to be a super high score for her.
Looking like she might be nursing a sore right ankle, limping off just a little bit as we move over to Drew Collins from Eagles Wings Athletics. This is his first pass in tumbling.
Yeah, Drew recently moved out to Texas to train and coach out there. Not enough power there. Looked like it was going well, got a little bit off. You could see he got a little too much height on one of his whips and then lost all of his momentum.
It's kind of a compensation game at that point, to where you're trying to get back in. Unfortunately, then you still need to execute that final skill. Came up just a little bit short. Big applause here for Marion Merwarth and Jessica Renteria.
Marion and Jessica are actually the first senior elite women's pair that we've ever had to medal at a World Cup event, and they are currently ranked 3rd in the World Cup series.
Big deal here, a domestic treat.
Yeah, these girls are incredible.
Already you see that intensity on another level.
This is the strongest women's pair we've ever had in the U.S., so we have high hopes for them. Very clean. You could just see that the synchronicity is just tighter than anyone else.
Yep, and throughout all of those junior routines you were mentioning earlier, not worrying about the skills, adding to the performance, just being confident and doing what they've trained so many times.
Straight from the floor, back tuck up to that catch. Really difficult move.
A few steps from the base, but still, pretty strong there.
It's all about the base.
Kristin would disagree.
That's true. It was a really difficult sequence. You saw they did several elements to catch, which is really difficult, showing a lot of strength from the base.
Really nuanced movements, but keeping the synchronicity up.
Going into another dynamic element here. Rosman handstand directly to that arched position. So clean. You see how quickly they get in and out of these elements.
Really, this is what separates the elite level from all the rest that we've seen today.
A little bit short on that landing there. Overall, very solid routine.
Great response here from Noarth and Renteria. Moving now to Garrett Wheeler.
Yeah, first pass here. Remember, this is the straight pass, so no twisting involved. He's doing the double A, good transition, another double A, one more skill coming here, double back tuck with plenty of time at the end of it.
Move those final two whips right to the edge of the floor.
Good transition in and out of the double A. Not the cleanest looking tumbling, but he keeps his power really well. Very explosive athlete.
And again, name of the game, get into finals. Now looking at Jazzy Kerber, hoping to rebound from some early mishaps with the ball.
Last year, hoop was definitely her best event. This year, it's been pretty stable as well. She's always very good with the hoop technique.
Looks like some mastery there off the bat, am I right?
It can be. Actually, was most likely part of a dancing step.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I don't know what their papers say. Some coaches may ask for mastery, but it was in a dancing step, and you are allowed to put a mastery in a dancing step.
I think she should.
That was really a beautiful turn from her and combined 3 elements together. These are examples of dancing steps that are very musical, matches each part of the music. And you have to move around the carpet. They must be at least 8 seconds long. She had to run a little for that toss, so that would be a little execution deduction, but she didn't let it get out of bounds and she caught it, which was great. This routine was definitely more confident than ball. She did have to run.
On there for Jazzy Kerber, as she looks to be on the quest to defend last year's co-national title, wants to win it outright this time. Michaela Collier from high altitude is next up.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good girls here on double mini. She's got her work cut out for her if she wants to get into the finals. Interesting to see which girls choose to go for big difficulty and which ones try to go for clean lines. She's going for a little bit of both. An easier skill on the mount, but going for that double twisting, double back dismount, which as we mentioned is considered a big skill in the girls division. Nice height.
Saw the form come apart just a little there at the end, but put it down well in the red landing zone. This is Alex Rankert now.
Yeah, really watch Alex here. He's got a lot of power. One of those athletes who can really build speed and height as he goes down the floor. Look at that. And gonna push right through to the last skill. So 2 double A's and a double back pike. And you can just feel the power escalating as he goes down the floor. Tremendous.
Right there, not relenting on the acceleration momentum.
Big difficulty that he completes quite easily.
The cheer comes up from Michael Rodriguez and Arian Smith.
Crowd really knows who these guys are, huh?
This is the most exciting moment of the night for me. Michael Rodriguez was my partner for 6 years, and we won the World Championships together as well as the World Games, and he's made the decision to come out of retirement to work with Ani Smith here. She's an incredible top and totally deserving of a world medal, so they are going to go for the World Championships next year. Starting off with a wrap double front to wrap, linked into a back double pike. Difficult transition.
Drawing the audience in the early phases of this routine.
We'll see with mixed pair, there's so much more connection between the partners as well as to the judges, but you really want to see that relationship. Full twist back to catch. Very nicely done. Another catch. And full twisting pike, just a slight over rotation, but really well done.
Obviously knowing Michael as an athlete and a person, what do you think is his biggest strength as a partner?
Well, Michael's the best in the world, so I would say he's got a lot of strength.
Well, there you go.
He's just incredibly consistent. He's someone that you can trust 100%. He'll never drop you. That was a really difficult catch there. You see he brings her between the legs and then links into another throw out of it. Really high in that last toe pitch. You see them showing great presentation.
Yeah, really setting themselves apart from the crowd.
Awesome routine. This is just their first year, so.
Great to see from Rodriguez and Smith.
So nice to see him back in competition.
Welcome back, Michael. Here we go now with Lacey Jenkins, her first pass.
Yeah, Lacey from Sun Elite, so gets to train with teammate Garrett Waterstrat, who's in the top 3 right now for men's double mini, so that's a great training partner. A little sloppy on the first skill and slightly underpowered on that double layout. You could see she had to hollow her body in to get it around.
You'll see it here in the second rotation of the flip. Hips come in.
Yeah, breaking that line, going to be a small deduction.
Victor Haushalter now.
Looks like he's going to go for 2 double somersaults in this pass. But very clean whips. His whips are long, they're low, they're smooth, and they're all consistent. So should score well aesthetic-wise, but it'll be a little bit down on the difficulty as compared to the athletes who chose to do 3 double somersaults.
Solid first pass there for Haushalter. Moving over to Pamela Tang, her second event of the day, ball.
Pamela had not the best hoop routine, so hopefully she can come back. Luckily, we compete 4 events, and then out of the 4 events, top 12 competes another 4 events, and all 8 routines count. So it is very important that you nail all 8 routines.
And one thing I noticed about Pamela in particular is the emotion is on her face from the moment the music starts.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of gymnasts are able to move their bodies to the music, but the face is a large factor as well. And not many gymnasts do that. And she definitely shows that. And that was a great turn from her. Everything has to match. The music, the leotard, the equipment, the facial expressions, everything. That was a nice turn for her. She ended in the position. The toss was a little behind her, but she didn't let it fall, so she wouldn't get the credit for the toss, but she didn't drop it, which is good.
Soft ending there for Pamela Tang.
Definitely a very expressive routine. There were some mistakes, but it was definitely better than hoop, which is already a start. So hopefully by tomorrow she can get even better.
On the path to improvement there. Her day one is over. Now back to Kalin Uhas.
Yeah, Kalin from White Tumble Academy, where world champion Crystal is currently training, so they get to practice together. Not making it over. Yeah, I don't think that's going to count. If they land on the first skill on the inclined section, their pass should not count. And we see the judges there not flashing any scores, so yeah, definitely that pass is not going to count.
Kalin Uhas frustrated with her second pass of the day. Will look to hopefully rebound in the future. Drew Collins of Eagles Wings now.
Doing his twisting pass, did his first twisting skill right at the beginning and then into a backhand full out in a tuck position. So just doing the one double somersault, choosing to keep it a little easier just to make sure he gets through the pass, as he did have some struggle on his first pass.
Do you think that's a strategic move to try and get into finals?
Well, I think it's just hard being 6 feet tall and trying to tumble like that. So
you tell me.
It hurts. I know that.
Solid there from Drew Collins. Now back to Axel Osborne and Tiffany Williams.
Axel actually used to train at Woga in Texas. He's recently moved to Reales, which is in Southern California.
Another pair in the elite division.
That first element was really difficult. It's a Rosman double. So you're doing 2.5 flip from your hands. This is Tiffany's first debut as a mixed pair. She was previously in a trio, her women's group. Great twisting there.
Yeah, her body line definitely lends itself well to those twisting elements.
Axel's just such a solid performer. You see, he really presents well on the floor. More twisting. That was a great transition. You see how that trick flowed in and out. There's no break in the choreography, and just a little mistake at the end there with the landing.
like to see Tiffany amp up her performance just a little bit more. Axel seems to be outperforming her. But hasn't been elite that long, so she still has time to grow.
Right, like you mentioned, new partnership, growing into each other, and the presentation.
Fun little move there.
Fun from Axel Osborne and Tiffany Williams. Now going to Garrett Wheeler.
Yeah, Garrett we saw is a very powerful athlete. He has been the bronze medalist of the last 2 national championships. Let's see what he's got here for his twisting pass. Going for that double twisting, double straight, keeping his speed into a double twisting, double tuck.
So he gets to his feet, pumped about it.
Oh yeah, he gets excited. And he lets you know he's excited. Yeah, not the cleanest athlete, but he's got so much power he can just make it work.
Looking at Camilla Feely now.
Camilla's actually on the same team as Jazzy and Laura. She actually recently moved there 2 years ago from California. Great beginning. That's a very difficult move that she just did. That's as well another mastery. Camilla is known for her interesting masteries, which add to her difficulty score. She's very elegant and graceful in this routine. You can see it matches the music, her facial expression, her body movements. That's a very difficult catch, right into the rotation.
Trying to finish this one on a strong note.
Very good routine from Camilla. She stayed strong until the very end, which is very important. Definitely much better in the second rotation.
Great to see from Camilla Feely as we move over to Michaela Collier.
Kalin needs a good second pass here to try to keep up with the pack on women's double mini. Getting ready to go.
We'll see if she uses the same strategy as the first one, kind of a balanced approach.
Oh, had to bend her legs on the first skill. It'll be up to the judges to decide if she bent them far enough that it's going to count as a tuck or a pike. She doesn't want to get a repeated element.
Take a look here.
It's real close, so I don't know. Second skill, very nice though, full out straight.
Looks like the judges are showing some quality numbers as we move over to Alex Rankert.
Gave her the difficulty for that pike on the first skill. Full in straight, building a lot of speed for the full in, full out straight stuck landing.
Like a dart down there. Great day for Alex Rankert.
Beautiful form in the air.
Looking at the elite women's balance routine, we'll have Lonnie Garrett, Josefina Kiewski, and Mila Sigel.
This is the first senior elite women's group of the evening.
They'll be followed by one more to close out tonight's competition. Legs are chalked up.
Mm-hmm. Making sure there are no slips. See how quickly they got into that TP. Really clean. Making that press to handstand look so easy.
And since there's no talking out there, do you feel like acrobatic gymnasts can communicate with literally just a look?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. That's something that gets built over time. That's why you want to try to stay in your partnerships as long as you can. These girls going into their second pyramid.
Right into it.
See how quickly they get in. A few little wobbles there. Very nice arched position. She's going to go for a planche here. Not quite flat, but very close. Taking a little too much time building this pyramid. Wobbling a little bit on this transition into crocodile. Her legs should be a little bit higher. Managing to hang on to it though. Difficult transition by the bases. Routine. They lost a little bit of energy at the end.
Garrett, Kievsky, and Siegel finishing up. They'll leave one more group left. Lexi Jenkins now with her final pass on double mini. Final women's competitor on this event for the evening.
Yeah, hopefully we can finish off the women strong tonight. Lacey doing the half-out tuck to a full-in pike. Right in the center of the box. A little bit sloppy in the air, but keeps it inside the box.
Seems happy with it. You see a little bit of that cowboy and then some straddle there.
Yeah, doing what she's got to do to make it around. We go on the twisting pass over on Tumbling.
This is Victor Haushalter.
Finishing with a full-in pike. Choosing just to do the one double back, so difficulty definitely down for him, but smooth whips down the floor. A little bit long on the dismount though.
Strategic possibly for Haushalter as he ends his day. This is our last look at Rhythmic for the evening. This is Serena Liu with the ball.
Serena competed with this routine last year at Worlds. They've made it more difficult, but it's the same music and almost the same composition.
And do you feel like routines are kept usually because the judges respond well to them?
Yeah, you definitely keep a routine for a second year if the judges liked it, if it's a comfortable routine sometimes, and if you feel very confident with it. Definitely most likely when the judges, most of the time judges actually ask you to keep the routine. She's actually had this is her third year, but every year they keep upgrading it. She had it in junior year, but they had to switch it for a higher difficulty when you become a senior. That was a very good turn with a very difficult handling. That is very difficult roll.
Does the coach usually choreograph the routine?
Sometimes the coaches do. We also have special choreographers who come and choreograph routines. The coach mostly works on the routine. In certain gyms, the coaches does the choreography as well, but in our home team, Serena's from my home team, we have special choreographers come in. But you always adjust the routine based off of what isn't working, what Good routine from Serena, very good.
Comfortable and elegant out there.
She seems very happy with the routine.
Nice way to end Serena Liu's night. And now to end the evening for the USA Gymnastics Championships, this is our final women's group balance in acrobatics. Savannah Bentley, Hannah Silverman, and Elise Stickley.
These girls are from the same team as the previous women's group. Have some head-to-head competition, see how they compare. Going right into their first pyramid. See a press to handstand here on the top. Transitioning into the arch position. A little bit of wobbling. Managing to hang on to it. Going into a plunge a little bit high and barely made the hold.
A look to the side there. Trying to play it up to the judges while getting out of it quickly.
Yep. Another TP pyramid. Struggling a little bit with that press to handstand. Showing great flexibility from the top. A deep arch with her legs together. It's really difficult.
The deepest, I would say. There's much more arch than that.
See just a few little wobbles on everything.
Great angle of this pyramid though.
Legs a little bit low on that last crocodile. This is the same element as the last trio that we saw.
And finishing up the night for Bentley, Silverman, and Stickley. And that finishes night one here of the 2015 USA Gymnastics Championships. We'll be back for a quick recap.
Gymnastics Championships. Let's hear it for all of these talented gymnasts. You'll be able to see the current standings after the first of 3 nights of competition here at Greensboro Coliseum up on the big board, as well as the schedule for the remaining sessions of competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us tonight. As you can see, this is just night 1 of 3 at the 2015 USA Gymnastics Championships, coming to you live every evening from Greensboro, North Carolina. Catch us here tomorrow. Coverage starts at 9 a.m., but we'll be back here live streaming at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. For Kristin Allen, Rebecca Sereda, and Peter Dodd, I'm Evan Heiter. Have a great night.
We'll have acrobatics, rhythmic gymnastics, tumbling and trampoline,